Marvelous Chats, episode 4.
Well, hello there.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
I am very good. Woohoo!
Okay.
Listen to that, Pop. Listen to that. Mr. Kyle Krunk, welcome, sir.
Hello, lads.
Oh my god.
What is up? I'm cracking a can, but it's actually a can of Monster. It's a black can of Monster, which tastes like
Monster Mule?
it's like ginger beer. It's like ginger beer, but it's fucking Monster.
Wait, do they want to use that instead of ginger beer for the mules?
I don't know. Oh my god, Broxy.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello, lads.
Hello.
Clipmaster Flex, thank you so much, dude. 16
Where's
months
your
of tier
can?
2. Let's go.
Hey,
Got
everyone.
coffee. I knew he doesn't have coffee.
Ah,
In one way,
fresh.
shape, or form. I got two of those ads that I showed you since you talked about it yesterday.
Hey,
Mud
Krunk.
water?
Yep, they're coming for me.
Hey, Kyle, I like your headset, bro.
I know yours is cute.
You guys want a moment? Do you want me and Bronx to take off for a second so you guys can rub ears together?
I mean, do you guys have anything matching? You guys wanna?
Me and Drunky
Steel
kind
Series.
of, our glasses kind of match a little bit, maybe?
Bronx, you're
Tiny
just
bit?
handsome together. You know, that's what we have in common. We're incredibly handsome.
Oh, they got the fire. They both got the fire.
I got a
Why don't you
fire. I got a
guys
fire
run
too.
from-
Look at my phone.
Oh.
that's your fire, Kyle. Come
Yeah, Kyle, you didn't get the memo? You didn't get the memo.
It's fires only.
Ah.
Oh shit!
I put it out. I had a candle.
Man's got a candle.
I like good smells.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Right. Oh man,
This week was nutty.
I fucking loved it. I'm kind of
God.
like, I don't know where to start. I thought that this week was fucking incredible. I loved it. A lot of it was
It's nuts.
a lot of it was very predictable. I thought, like I kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
saw
Yeah.
a lot of it coming, but it was still amazing to see. It was great to watch.
Like, you could tell after John Walker says something like early on, like, he's about to try to go for the serum himself at some point.
Oh, like
in this episode.
the second I saw that vial, I would have just snorted it up like straight away. Like honestly, like fucking right in the neck, just like fucking give it to me.
Yeah, they did way too much lead up to it. Like, man, if we had enough serum, imagine how much.
Yeah,
people would
yeah.
have
Oh,
serum
yeah.
back then.
Would you take it?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. Straight in the leg.
We already know. We already know. There's gonna main vein it.
You see, like, the thing that really terrifies me, like, I know myself pretty well, and I think, like, if I was put in that situation, I would love to think that I would be a Steve Rogers, but I know I would be a John Walker, like, if it happened. Like, if someone butchered my best friend beside me, like,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill everyone in the room, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
100%,
Yep,
like,
yep, yep.
and I fully kind of sympathize with him in that sense. Now, I probably wouldn't have done it out in the open the way he did, like, but obviously that was just kind of like raw passion or emotion or whatever, but
I have to say my favorite part of the entire episode though is when I'm gonna say, is it Dora Milaje? Am I saying Milaje right?
I don't even know who that is. Is that the
The
villain actress?
Wakanda. No, the Wakanda.
Oh,
the Wakanda guards. Yeah.
yeah. When they just disarmed Bucky's
Yeah,
arm and it
yeah,
just
yeah.
falls down, I
Yep.
was like, oh.
Yeah, me and my lady were watching it, and like when she says something in Wakandan and then says Bucky, but the two of us looked at each other and went, "What did she say?" And I was like, I don't know. We went back and watched it again, and I was like, I'm not hearing what she's saying. So we actually put subtitles on, and then it was like Wakandan, and I was like, okay, grand, that's why. I was like, I thought it was going mad. I was like, what is she saying? I can't understand what she's saying. It was pretty crazy. Yo, Annie, I'm glad you like the
I'll
place.
say from the very beginning.
It's
like,
small,
taking the
but
show from the top.
it does it.
The
does the
opening
job.
scene, where you see Bucky and Wakanda, and they're at like the campfire or whatever.
That was a
and you're
great
seeing them kind of like get deprogrammed or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Sebastian Stan, that dude
What
kicked his
acting.
ass off, bro.
Yeah.
That was an amazing
That was
scene
so
right
good.
from the
So
jump.
good.
That was beautiful.
That was
Yeah, it
good.
really was.
Showing how they broke his programming, and then she when she greets him with White Wolf, I was like,
Circa,
they
what's
just
up,
keep
dude?
giving little hints at the White Wolf, and I'm just.
Yeah.
What is up?
Do you
How
think
are
they're
you?
gonna wait for a movie to premiere him fully as White Wolf, or maybe at the end of the show?
Do you think? Now I saw something. Obviously fan made, but the White Wolf thing. It looked like a Black Panther suit, but just in white.
Yeah,
and I was
I've
like,
seen
do you
that.
think are they going to do something like that, or will he have something completely separate? I definitely think he'll be White Wolf, 100%. Like they just keep.
I think he's.
I
I
think
would say he's gonna be the White Wolf, but I don't think he's gonna get like a costume. I think it's just gonna be more of like a title and a mantle. You know what I mean?
Moniker, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
more than just him actually like getting in a white suit and like looking like a maniac.
the way I think it's going is I think obviously, I don't know if you watched. There's a teaser for next week's episode. I don't know if you watched it. I was like, after I was like fucking hyped up after that episode, so I was like, I actually have to watch it, like, because it came up on my suggestions on YouTube straight away. So I was like, fuck it, we'll watch it. It's like a preview for next week's.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want to leave it? Yeah. Well, in it,
I
I
say hello to Max real quick.
Max.
Hello there, Max.
Hello.
Look, Kyle, he's got a fireplace too. He's got a huge fireplace. What are you doing?
All right.
Look at that.
Max, you're muted, bro.
Hi. Hello.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, plans changed. I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I can do it.
Just before we start, I didn't get to watch your stream yesterday, but how was Outriders? Just really quickly.
Me?
Max, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm loving it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they fix it. Like, as far as like the stuttering, the hitches, and all that stuff.
Are you on PS5
But,
or
No.
PlayStation? You on PC?
I ended up buying it on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And it runs really good. And like certain parts where I get into like bigger fights with bigger crowds of people, like it kind of goes to shit a little bit. But I'm sure they'll fix it. The
Yeah.
game just came out. But I'm excited.
Huge patch today.
Nice. They need. Looks like they need it, Drunky, from what you're going through, because you know I see you restarting that game a lot.
Yeah, what they said in the patch notes, they said they had a lot of patch. They patch out a lot of bugs, and they think they got what's causing most of the crashes because it wasn't a lot of things causing crashes. It's just you encountered that scenario
Kyle's
a
candle
lot.
looks
You know what
so
I mean?
good.
If that makes kind of sense. Like, so they think they fixed it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to ask that real quick. Just I know we're not really supposed to be talking about gaming right now, but we're gamers. We're gamers, so we have to.
Well,
Gamer.
it's a looter that's way better than the Avengers. Just to bring it back to.
Oh my god.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Shots fired. Sorry, I just want to say something as well, just to people in the chat, if we can. If you want to ask a question about the show or something, if we could highlight the message in chat, just so it pops out at me, so I can read it to the guys. I think that might just be a good way of doing it, because it's kind of hard to follow the chat while I'm talking to you as well. But I think if I see a highlighted message, I know it's something for us. I think that might be a good way to go about it. I know.
Look, we will only answer questions that are from donations.
I was
Bring it
about-
Pinto fucking paid.
I was about
Bring
to
it
say-
Pinto fucking paid.
There's so many people that I watch on YouTube, and they only answer the super chats. So I'm not going to be that guy. It's going to just cost you channel points, okay?
So we kind of gave
Right now.
Right now,
Once
channel
this thing
points.
blows up.
Just highlight a message. I think it's how much is a highlighted message in this chat? I don't even know.
I think it's 1K.
Oh
I
Jesus!
think I did it the other day.
I might change it to 100 or something.
What were your initial impressions, Max, on the episode? I think we all kind of.
Yeah,
besides
sorry,
Bronx-
Max, you were a little late.
I know. Well, 'cause, like
I've-
at first, like I was here like listening to you guys. I've been in chat the whole time, and I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I can just jump in real quick and like kind of say what I feel instead of just writing it in chat. But I liked it a lot. I kind of predicted like that John Walker was going to get his hands on the serum, like either anytime soon or within the next few episodes.
Yeah.
And some stupid shit was going to happen. I already knew it, and I didn't think it was going to go down exactly that way. So I thought that was very powerful. Like I saw like the emotions in him, like that was his best friend basically.
Oh yeah.
Like when I saw how hard she hit him in his chest, I was like, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
And get his back on the pillar. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was like,
I was very shocked by that, because I didn't think that, like, because you know the way you always see like these big epic fights, and like there's always like Sam's always getting in these big massive fights, but like nothing ever happens to him, and
Nobody ever gets killed by one
yeah,
punch.
you always think that no one's gonna die, but the fact that he died, I just thought, wow, that was a really
I actually
big.
kind of liked him too.
Oh yeah, he was cool. Like he was a lot more down to earth. I think he was kind of John's kind of moral compass in a lot of ways, or like his sensible one, like, you know. And I just think Walker's gonna go absolutely over the edge now. Because you can see he already was.
Do you think he's gonna go like all the way to the edge to where he's the villain the rest of the season that far, or
my prediction is, and I think it's pretty obvious. I think the U.S. government are going to take the shield off him because obviously now after what's happened, he cannot be Captain America. Do you know what I mean? He just assassinated somebody in the streets with the fucking shield.
And then strapped it back on too.
Yeah.
Strapped it back on after. That was...
What a badass. But like literally, and then I think what's going to happen is they'll give it to Sam and he'll become US agent and he'll get his own shield and I think he'll just go a bit rogue. Like,
well, see,
he'll be there for all the Black Ops shit.
Here's where I'm thinking. It's like we haven't really seen in all of the Captain America, like the U.S. government or some big bureaucracy is like kind of the real villain behind everything, right? And I could totally see them doing a storyline here where him like killing the guy with the shield actually gets turned in by the government. They try to turn it into a positive, right?
Yeah.
And that's where like Bucky and Sam really have a break with like the government and everything. It's like, this ain't right.
Yeah.
So I could totally see them going with a storyline like that where he keeps the shield. And they try to, it's like, hey, he was tracking down a terrorist and that guy was about to kill and blow up a new bomb and he saved everybody. And so like a bloody Captain America shield lends itself to, again, this narrative they're trying to like really wrench in on us that they're going to destroy the shield,
Yeah.
Like they're trying to turn to a positive, and so Bucky and Sam like want to get the shield to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like that little moment of hesitation where John goes to walk into the room when Sam's talking to Carly to try to reason her down, and Bucky just stands in front of him and stops him. He's like, hasn't been 10 minutes yet. I like that little this build up of their tension between the Sam and Bucky and Battlestar. He's now was his name Battlestar? Battlestar and
was
John.
his name Battlestar? His name was Battlestar.
I didn't even get to see his cool signature logo that he claimed to have.
Yeah, I'd say they'll put that on, like Walker will put it on his shield that he gets or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
I was definitely shook he got killed by one punch. Like,
yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then they all scatter off as if it's like, oh shit, what have we done? Like, it was like teenagers that get in trouble, for doing some shit, and it's like, fuck, run, sketch.
Yeah.
What I want to know is like, how soon did you guys notice like, oh yeah, he took the serum? Like
when the shield got stuck in the wall, when it literally got embedded in the wall, I was like,
I figured pretty much immediately after that conversation that they had at that table in like the mall setting area, I figured he took it right after that when he's like, we could have saved so many more people.
Yeah, he went into he went into a public bathroom straight after that conversation. He stuck it in his ass.
He's like, this is suppository, right?
Yeah. It's like taking steroids. The guys at the gym just like stuffing it in their ass cheeks. Like, so funny, dude.
When he jumped out that window, though, man. Woo.
Yeah, that was
chasing
that
her
was
down,
cool.
That was a solid Captain America landing. I'll give him that.
That was a superhero landing. Absolutely. 100%.
I thought it was a great little bit of writing too. That the character that they had talking about who loved was like the biggest Captain America like fanboy.
Yeah,
is the one who got killed by the shield to the chest, man. Like that is.
My lady said that to me as well straight after we watched it, and I kind of missed. Like I didn't miss it, but I kind of like was like, shit, yeah, that actually did. Like that was poetry. Like I kind of just like thought.
Yeah.
There was one part in the episode that I had a little confusion on. I don't know, maybe you guys can help.
Yo, Bisto.
When Nemo is Zemo. I said Nemo. When Zemo is talking to the kid,
get off the call.
and he's like, don't tell these guys though, they're bad men. But he ends up like sharing the information anyway. I kind of don't get that little secrecy he tried to have with the kid, but he was actually forthcoming with the information that he was provided. For a second, I thought he was going to splinter off into his own plan, but then he just kind of went with him anyway.
I kind of thought that was going to happen as well, but I think what he was doing there was he was lying to the kid to kind of give that false sense of security, like, don't trust these guys, trust me, and then to get the info. Because, like, then when he goes to meet her, it's like, he shows up with fucking Captain America.
Yeah, he showed up with him anyway.
So you're just like, oh, shit.
Not to trust.
So to be fair, he threw like 500 euros at her, like, she's Gucci now,
I read that as like he didn't want her to tell them where it was going to be, but he knew, so he told them like, hey, they're going to have the funeral service here.
Oh yeah,
and then he kept the location of it as
so
that
they could
for leverage. Yeah, keep a bit of leverage. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Did you like the classic El Chapo escape from him at the end?
That was.
They even
that
I
was
love how
fantastic.
they reference it too. They said, "Did
Yeah.
he El Chapo us?"
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
fantastic.
what bathrooms are these European bathrooms that have massive sewer ducts and like?
I've been
Like
the bathtubs?
legit manhole covers for the bathroom drain.
I've been to a lot of Europe, and I've never seen that now. Although, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not as rich as Zemo, so, you know, he's going to these
Is it,
Gucci places.
Isn't like the French, like isn't like France like that? Like don't they have like the underground like catacombs and all that stuff? So I would think like most of the older buildings are probably built the same way, have like sewage lines under each house.
I've never
Where-
been. I've never been to France, so yeah.
Where's this country? Is this a real country that they keep saying the Madrigal, or is that a real country, or is that a Marvel made-up country for the show?
Madripoor?
Madripoor, yeah.
I don't think Madripoor is, but where they are right now, they're in like Latvia at the moment, so obviously that's
Yeah.
a real place. But Madripoor, I don't think is no.
Because I know that that's what's like started this whole thing was that they were kicked out of Madripoor or whatever. That's when it became bad.
Yeah,
I
no,
think-
that's a fake place.
Oh,
I think wasn't it after the blip was like fixed, the Flag Smashers went to Madripoor. They were kind of
that's where they were relocated. to,
yeah, they were like
from
forced
wherever
out. They
came
went
from.
there, and then that's where they got the serum.
And then we're actually in old. Well, aren't we supposed to kind of be in old Sokovia kind of too? Because Zemo said he came here when he was younger, and it was like fancier. So like he's been there before.
I don't.
And
Yeah, I think there's a reference to Sokovia being taken over by a neighboring country, but I don't think that is like we're not in Sokovia. I think he just kind of was speaking about it at the time, as far as I'm
Gotcha.
aware. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he was actually there, like at the time. Latvia,
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a bordering country or not. My geography is not great.
I'm gonna start taking. I'm gonna throw out a hot take here. Am I the only one that is so completely fucking bored with this storyline of this villain lady and her motive? Like I am so bored by it, out of my mind.
The red-haired girl.
Watching
Yeah,
her
Flag
slowly
Smasher.
radicalize, yeah.
yeah.
Here's
I'm
one I
just
just
bored.
saw. Here's one I
'Cause
saw
they even-
online, which you might like. Someone fan casted her in the Horizon Zero Dawn thing. I think she'd like the main character. Like she'd be a kind of good
Aloy?
take on her. Yeah,
Aloy. I mean,
think-
she kind of looks like her, but she definitely.
I don't.
We'll have to see her in a different role. Like the way she plays this character, she doesn't have the charisma for Aloy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the original Flag Smasher they showed was like a big
Yo,
buff dude
Peacock,
with
what's up?
long
How are
hair,
you?
and I thought he was gonna be this big badass the whole time, and it turns out it was Carly, and you watch her slowly radicalize.
If you haven't
Like,
seen
they
the
almost-
episode yet,
they had an option. To
we're
make
obviously
some
talking
big,
about it, so
scary, like
maybe don't ruin it on yourself,
monster
dude.
dude.
But thank you for
And
being
they
here. I hope you had a good day today.
And that might be a point, but like I don't think that's my main issue. Like my main issue is that like I am not sympathetic with her cause at all. They're trying to make you walk this journey with her where it's like she's up to kill people for her cause, and somehow she's sympathetic for that and what she's gone through. And I just don't feel that way at all about her. I'm like, what? Like, you just keep telling me about everything you lost, but they didn't do the work and the writing on the show to actually like show me what she's lost
Yeah.
and like walk me with her why she would be to this point where it's like I'm just gonna kill people and like okay,
Yeah,
like I'm ready
like
to kill
you-
people.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
you even look at WandaVision, they even had flashbacks to her as a kid and that to try to give you part of her. They did really good in WandaVision to get you sympathetic with why she would do this to a whole town and everything. And I think you're right. We're missing that for her.
We're at this point in the story and like you know they're trying to like you know show how much her and Sam have
Thank
in
you,
common
Blakey.
and stuff, and I'm like
Enjoy.
I just don't buy it. Like I just don't buy the point that we're in right now. Like and I'm just bored by it. I don't think that Sam is a character who is overly sympathetic to this type of thing. Like there are grays and he does, you know, work with people who, you know, been through trauma and stuff, but this is still Falcon,
Yeah.
you know, Captain American Falcon, where like there's lines and he's just like he acts like she hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, it's like
just- it's wild,
I
man.
agree with the cause completely. I just don't like the killing, is what he said, wasn't it? Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I'm fully on board for what you're trying to do, but just I don't like the way you're doing it. And it's
Even
like,
John Walker seems to be like the most level-headed. He's like, they blew up a building with people inside it.
yeah,
Still, she doesn't get a choice after that. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm
Sam's
curious.
like-
I'm curious now after the event, like after the very end of the episode, where does it go from there? You know, like they all literally watched her kill Battlestar with one hand, like with one punch. So it's like, you know, are they going to band together now to take them down? Like, do they have to be stopped? I presume they do.
I mean, she got shot like 2-3 times, and they made that super anticlimactic too. She got like shot like 3 times in the stomach, and you're like, oh, is she about to die like already? And then she's just cool.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm good.
Well, they have speed healing and all that sort of shit, don't they? And then I suppose
That's the
this
serum doing it for
this version of the serum as well, your man was saying was different. So maybe it has some sort of healing power or something like that as well.
Do you think Isaiah shows up again anymore through the rest of the story?
I was very, very convinced that, like, you know, the scene where they were about to go in to confront her, where Sam's like, "I need to go alone," and when Walker hangs back and he's like pacing back and forth. I turned to my lady at that point and I was just like, if these 3 guys here are going to get super serum, I presume, like the 3 that don't have it, like I was like, you know, Sam, Walker, and Battlestar, I was like, they need it, like, you know, like they're at such a disadvantage. And then obviously when we see Zemo destroying it all, I was like, I actually didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that, you know,
I thought he was going to keep it for himself or something at least. For I
knew he wouldn't take it because he's so anti-serum. You know, that was obvious that he, like, if he took it, I was kind of going to say that's absolute bullshit because he's been fighting for years to absolutely destroy it. But then maybe it could have been a story that, like, you know, he's like, look, I can't beat them, so I need to go to their, you know, like, it's that classic tale of, like, you know, you have to go beyond the point of no return. And I think that could have been his point of no return. But I think the fact that it all got destroyed except for one, I thought was a bit mad. And I think now, I still think Sam needs it, especially if he's going to take on the mantle. Like, he has to be a super soldier, I think. And I think that's something that Walker obviously realized very quick after he's getting slapped around by the Wakandans. You know what I mean? They're not they're not even super soldiers, and he's
that
getting.
was fucking
it
amazing.
was
If
fantastic.
they find a way to give that to Sam, I will be really impressed because I haven't gotten any hints that he has interest in it or that. Because he kind of is always like, he even makes it like a passing remark, like, "Oh, I don't have it," and like they still have him pretty predominantly doing well in the fight scenes. Like, it doesn't seem like he's going through that struggle right now that John went through, where he's like, "Well, I can't beat these guys at all." Like, when they were all fighting in that room, like, it was clear, like, he holds his own every time.
I love Zemo just goes out and he's just like shutting the doors real slow, like, "See ya." I thought that was fantastic. Like, I'll leave you to this. But like, I think I still think that Sam needs the serum, and I think Isaiah will come back into it. I think they're gonna have to use his blood somehow to create another variant of it, because I really do think that Sam is pointless unless
that's the way I'd like to see it happen. If it does happen, is somehow like Isaiah helps him out.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll go back to him and just be like, look, the serum's been destroyed. I really think John Walker's going to become a villain, and I think he's going to have to be stopped.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Me too. Like,
100%.
I was gonna say that, like, during Drunkie's point where he was like pointing out that like Carly was kind of like a boring like antagonist. I kind of agree too, but I think now with Walker kind of going AWOL, like what it seems like, he's gonna the focus is gonna kind of shift over to him, because I think now he's gonna kind of like hunt her down, and like he's gonna kind of be like, all right, I'm gonna come kill you. You killed my friend. I'm coming after all of you guys, and it's gonna be like Bucky and Sam saying like, we gotta stop this dude. Like, this dude's gonna try to come kill this girl, and you know what? Like, she's kind of like innocent in a sense, so they're gonna kind of help. They're gonna kind of help her for sure, and it's gonna be John Walker who's gonna be like the big bad for the next, like, I think the next few episodes, the next two.
There's only two left.
I think I agree with that. I think they're gonna try. They want obviously Sam and Bucky are gonna want the justice, like, lock her up, don't kill her, and he's gonna want to kill her. So now it's like the two fronts. Yeah.
Do you want to watch the teaser for episode 5? Just so we can kind of.
I haven't seen it yet, so yeah.
Just so we can kind of theorize a little better, because I think it'll steer the conversation in a different direction when you see this.
All right.
I'd say if you can just open up the stream, just because I'm not going to be able to. I tried sharing it here before.
All right.
It doesn't.
I'm gonna mute.
Already open.
It doesn't share. It doesn't share sound properly when I try and like share my screen to you guys. So, where the hell is it gone? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, back in one sec, guys. I'll just pull this up for everybody.
So we're partners. Co-workers.
Not necessarily a team.
No.
That shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people. The world was upside down. People need something to get behind.
Well, let's get to work. You look damn good, though.
Okay, I'm actually just let that sink in for like 5 seconds, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna watch it again because there's actually so much that goes on in this fucking trailer. Every time I see it, I need to just watch it again, like because there's actually so much going on. So, all right, we're watching it again.
So we're
Take two.
Co-workers.
Not necessarily a team.
No.
That shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people.
Drunky, you're hilarious, dude.
The world was upside down. People need something to get behind.
Well, let's get to work. You look damn good, though.
Yeah. So,
Literally,
It's good.
like it could be the trailer to like a new series.
yo, Donut,
of
thank
the
you for those
show.
40 bits.
It's crazy.
That's a fucking movie trailer right there. I genuinely thought. I've heard from a lot of people like in the communities and stuff like that episode 5 according to people in Disney or whatever is the big one, like, and I think episode 6 is kind of like a wrap up episode. So I think we're gonna get. I wouldn't be surprised if next week's episode is over an hour, and I think from what you've seen there, it looks like they're gonna take the shield off Walker. Sam's gonna get it. He's gonna be. Looks like they seem to be in his family home, and they seem to be celebrating him becoming Captain America by the looks of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It looks like he has a new suit on too. You can only see it for like.
Yeah, I wonder as well. Is he gonna have the wings as well? Like, because I know he kind of is a kind of mashup between Falcon and Cap. Like, he's like a Falcon Cap or something. So I think he does have the wings. That would kind of tell me that he doesn't get serum, but I really think even if he had wings, I still think he needs serum. Like, I just think he's so fucking irrelevant without serum. Like,
Listen, I want to go back to Drunky's question. Then why are you disrespecting his?
I hate. Look, I have said this, Falcap. I have said this from day one, and I said this before the show even started. I have never liked Sam as a character. I just think he lives in Steve Rogers' ass. Same with Rhodey. I hate Rhodey as well. Like, I think he just
Sam versus Hawkeye. Who do you got in that fight?
Hawkeye every single time. One arrow into the back of his jetpack, and Sam is fucking useless. Like, simple.
You gonna hit him, bro. I'm just joking.
one arrow. That's all it takes. He could do it with a little throwing knife or something.
Dude, like,
Game over.
come on. You would take Hawkeye over Falcon.
100%.
Oh, dude, I think Hawkeye's the most irrelevant.
He blocks bullets with his wings, and he's not going to block an arrow.
No, because he's gonna go and do some like flippy stupid shit to try and throw a kick or something, and he's getting like a throwing knife in the jetpack. Game over.
Look how dismissive he is about a flippy stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know how hard it is to flip
Not when
in
you
the first place?
Not when you've
and
got
this dude's doing it with a jetpack while he's like got wings going on and
Sorry,
shit.
no, technology's
The man deserves respect.
technology's doing it for him. I always said the same thing about
Oh
Tony.
my God.
I always said the same thing about Stark. You take the suit away, he can't do shit. He's just a rich guy.
Every superhero.
No, it's not.
You take you take the serum away from Captain America, and he's nothing.
Well, Captain America, of
That's
course, but
Listen, you are just a little bit selective about your superheroes because you don't like they have to have actual powers. Come on, Batman's considered. the
No,
best
I love
superhero.
I love Batman. I love Green Arrow. He's an archer. I love Hawkeye. He's just a normal dude. But these guys possess serious skill, and I don't think Falcon does. Anytime you've seen Falcon in this show not wearing the fucking suit, he's doing nothing. He's barely he's barely able to walk.
He can fight.
He can fight.
Okay.
No, he does. He just points guns at people.
I mean, okay.
Like,
what does Batman
honestly,
do?
Batman is a badass, and he's a detective, and he's a super genius, inventor,
Listen, you know how many
everything.
G's
He's
he
a
pulls in that? With
He's
those
everything.
wings?
He's the world's greatest
He's fighting
detective.
a blackout half the time from all the G's he's pulling, doing these twisty turns. You have no respect.
I have no respect for Falcon, and look, I just don't care. This is the way I am, right?
I just don't care.
Take it or leave it. Like,
Let's
honestly,
just hope that changes next episode.
I'm calling
yeah?
it. I'm
Yeah.
calling it now. Next episode, Finto's gonna be saying how much he loves.
Oh yeah.
No.
Watch, he's like, guys, did you see all the cool shit he was flipping? And
Do you know? Do you know? What my
Hawkeye's a bitch, bro.
do you know what my girlfriend said to me today? She said, "Can you please stop referring to the show as Falcon and the Winter Soldier? It's just the Winter Soldier." Because it's not even about Sam. It is literally the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier, his story is a lot more compelling than where
Yeah.
Sam is right now.
100%.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
where
the whole-
and where Sam has ever been.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that does not Sam's fault. All right, Bucky got captured when he was, during World War II. Like, what? Sam wasn't born yet. Sam's bad. Like, Bucky's had time to
Blakey,
develop cool stuff.
Blakey just said, "Did you say Batman is the world's greatest detective? What about Columbo?"
Boomer.
I'm calling it Winter Falcon. Yeah.
So, do we have to? Do you think they're gonna do anything to tease the Loki show at all when it comes to the last episode?
I don't think these two shows are connected in any way whatsoever. Just because the way Loki's going, it looks like it's a separate timeline, and it just takes place directly after the part in Endgame where he went back to New York during Avengers 1. So it's a completely different storyline. Like, did you see the latest trailer?
Yeah.
I watched a breakdown of that trailer, and like there's a bit where they show like the wave of the timelines, and the timelines are cracking into all these different time streams and stuff, and it looks like what Loki's going to be doing in that show is working with Owen Wilson's character to try and fix those timelines. So I don't think it's going to be linked with anything. And if we get any sort of cameos or anything like that, I think it's going to be different worlds or different versions of them, which I'm very, very fucking excited about, because I think that'd be really cool. Because, you could bring back. There's a tiny bit in the trailer where he's sitting facing a girl, and it kind of looks like Romanoff from the first Avengers movie where she had the kind of shorter hair. A lot of people are saying though it doesn't really tie up because she looked different at the time. People are thinking it's Lady Loki and stuff like that, but I just think they have the kind of possibilities are endless for what's going to potentially happen in that show. But I don't think it's in any way connected.
What will be the next thing we have to continue what we're getting from this show?
That's interesting.
Black Panther probably.
Maybe.
Is that the
Yeah.
next one?
You've got I think Secret Invasion is actually going to tie a lot of it together. You can even see in the Loki trailer there's like a Skrull walking past him at one point, and I just think that I think they're trying to sell Secret Invasion to tie everything together. So maybe that's where it goes, because I think Secret Invasion is going to be the big show. I think it's going to tie a lot of the universe together as to where it's going. I think we'll get the return of the actual Nick Fury and Maria Hill and stuff like that. I think there's big things coming up for that.
Isn't Secret Invasion like 2023 or something though? Like it's a ways off, right?
I thought it was next year. I think it's
Next
2022.
year?
Yeah, I think it's next year. Sorry, let me see. Hang on. I actually have that screenshot of all the things. 1 second.
Like I could also see like the Falcon being tied into Quantum Tanium, whatever, with the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
They could definitely drop him in that show. He'd work because they have a history.
True.
But I remember talking about this last week, and it felt like we're missing something on the schedule because there's nothing that ties a lot of these things together.
Hawkeye, end of the year. So I think you've got, because I know what we're viewing now is not the original plan. COVID kind of fucked up the release schedules, because we were meant to get Black Widow first, not third in the release schedule. So Black Widow was supposed to be first, and then I think there's going to be some storyline in that movie that kind of connects into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it looks like the Widows have their own serum, which I was kind of talking about last week.
Is Hawkeye still Hawkeye, or is he Hawkeye / Ronin now?
I think he's Hawkeye now, but I think I heard in the show that there's going to be a lot of flashbacks to his time as Ronin as well. So we'll get we'll get Ronin flashbacks, and then obviously you've got Kate Bishop's introduction and her kind of grooming as well. And I'm actually really looking forward to that show. I think it'll be great. I don't really have much of an interest in Miss Marvel, but from the stories I didn't really know much about her before I played that Avengers game. And to be honest, seeing a live action version of what we saw there, if possible, I think would be really cool. Like, you know, her kind of maybe before the blip, maybe worshipping the Avengers as a kid, and then maybe after the blip she maybe survived the whole time, and then she starts kind of working with people from the Avengers. I think they could kind of adapt the game storyline into the MCU that way, maybe, or something. Again, I'm just kind of speculating there, but
see, I don't think I'm gonna like Miss Marvel at all. Like, I don't see what they're gonna do with it. That because Miss Marvel's like kind of an interesting character because they tie her to bigger characters inside of the MCU to me.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they could bring into the Miss Marvel show, who they could bring in. With their current slate of what they got going on, that would be interesting. Because to me, in the Marvel Avengers game, the most interesting thing about that story was really Bruce Banner and the Hulk going through depression, and then you have Miss Marvel's like very cheerful, optimistic outlook on life, and her kind of pulling him out of that.
Yeah. With the
I
whole
thought was like
Captain
a really
Conspiracy and stuff. That was that was good. I really enjoyed those, like the campaign of that game. I thought was fantastic. And even like the DLCs, like I really enjoy playing them, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it in the MCU. Obviously, they can't really follow much of those storylines. And again, I don't know any of her comic history, so
right.
I have no. I'm going in blind to that one.
What else are we getting this year from MCU?
So this year, 2021 ends with. Spider-Man is the last thing in 2021, yeah. So you've got Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and What If, and Loki.
Yeah.
Eternals is this year?
Yeah.
There is a lot.
There is a lot this year. Yeah. I think I was kind of thinking like what to do with this kind of time slot when Falcon finishes, but then we have Loki in June. It's June 11th, so I don't know. I was thinking we could just kind of still meet up and talk kind of theories and stuff. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff that we could talk about if you guys want, or we could move on to a bit of Star Wars or something like that, or anything. I don't really mind what we talk about. Drunky had a great idea as well that we could do like a kind of fan casting for the next X-Men movie. We kind of talked about this last week, but we didn't really do anything on it. But
what's the next X-Men movie going to be?
It's just called Mutants. And I think we'll probably have mutants in the MCU before that movie actually happens.
Is that a continuation of that New Mutants that they came out with?
No, that's just a separate thing with Sony or with Fox. I think that was their kind of
is
last
that an actual
failure.
Movie? New Mutants? Like, what is New Mutants? I heard it somewhere. And I don't know where it is.
It's like a horror movie. It was like a horror movie that they made with mutants in it. Arya Stark from Game of Thrones was in it, and your man who played Steve in Stranger Things was in it. Like, it was, from what I heard or like reviews I read, it was a complete shit show.
It has a couple of pretty cool characters. I can't remember the actual characters' names, but like the blonde chick, she was pretty.
She's
sword.
She's like the main one because I think like in like the Marvel universe, she's like a big deal because she can like tear portals and stuff.
Yo, Peppercorn, what's up? How are you? Cookie, how are you?
I'd say
Moon, I hope you're well.
If you got the time and you can get it for free,
I did hear that DMX died. Yeah, that's awful.
If you're like a diehard fan, you might not super love it.
What's on? Like Netflix?
Let me see. I think I watched.
Annie, I predicted that last week. I knew there was going to be some Wakanda flashbacks for sure.
Yeah.
I like. So yeah, what I was kind of saying, me and Drunky were saying, what would be kind of really cool, and I think anyone in the chat can take part in this as well. We're gonna pick 5 X-Men and like maybe just try and like cast them, do like a fan casting. I was kind of thinking about it today. I have a couple already, but I don't know do we want to choose like who the 5 are? I don't want to put Wolverine in because I just think like everyone's gonna say you're
Because
man.
you know you're wrong.
No, well,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna say
You know you're wrong.
Everyone's gonna
Because the
say.
correct answer is Hugh Jackman, and if that's not your correct answer, then you're wrong.
Well, I have two thoughts on that. I would love to see Hugh Jackman come
Man.
back, but I think he does need to be recast at the same time.
Bold of Kyle to show up to the podcast for the first time and have such a horrible take. Bold move, Kyle. Bold move.
I don't see anyone doing better Wolverine than Hugh Jackman's legacy, honestly.
Dude,
A
he
lot
does
of people-
like a fucking 8 out of 10.
A lot of people want like Keanu Reeves.
8 out of 10's pretty good.
Could imagine Keanu Reeves.
Not much room for improvement on 8 out of 10.
That's 2 points.
Yeah. Yo,
So
Longy,
who do
what's
you
up?
want, like, all right. I'd say we pick like 5 mutants.
Do you wanna-
And
do you
then
wanna-
draw off that?
Do you want to do this
Nightcrawler's
right now?
always been my favorite.
Boy.
Yeah, let's pick the 5 right now.
Okay, so I was
You know
thinking.
we'll forget about it for another week.
I was thinking, and maybe if people have better ones, whatever. But like, I'm up for a suggestion. But let's see, maybe like Storm,
Okay.
That's a good one.
Iceman.
Okay.
I was thinking, like, it's very hard to. I was thinking like Magneto and Xavier as well, but I'm thinking like, I don't know. It's like for those guys, it's very hard to. I find it very hard to picture anybody but Michael Fassbender playing Magneto. But I don't know. Do you want
I
to
say we
pick
do
more
Xavier.
Xavier? Well, put them
Yeah,
down. Put
Xavier's
them,
a good one.
put them down. I think. Yeah, like Magneto as well would
Do
be
you
a
think
good one.
Rogue's gonna come back anytime soon?
Yeah, Rogue could be a good one to maybe cast as well. How many is that? Is that 5?
Yeah.
Xavier, Rogue, and Magneto. If you include
We-
Magneto, that's
We
five.
need Cyclops and Jubilee.
Cyclops, yeah, Cyclops was one I was thinking about as well. I'd like to see, I'd like to see what some people think on that.
And just for the
Alright.
fucks of it, Jubilee.
What about what's her last name? Kitty, the one that walks
Jubilee.
through walls. Kitty who?
Kitty Pride.
Oh, that was Ellen Page
Alright.
in the last one, wasn't it?
We're ballooning. We're ballooning.
Yeah. This is what I said. I knew this was gonna happen.
We'll do another 5 the week after. You know what I mean? Like eventually
Yeah.
we'll cast the whole cast, but I think like the classic ones.
Annie's got the white streak in her hair like Rogue. Okay, Annie's Rogue going forward.
She's
in
in.
MCU.
She's in.
Yep.
Free climbs
Ten-
Hollywood. You know she's got a partner here somewhere.
$10 million contract. There you go.
I say we do like because honestly, okay, if we do these 5, Storm, Iceman, Xavier, Magneto, and like Cyclops, those are like 5 pillars of X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to go like I like the obvious big like casts. I just don't know if there's any fun in
Right.
kind of trying to cast them. I think maybe some of the lower ranked cast
Yeah.
members might be cool. Like I was thinking maybe like Nightcrawler or something like as well. But
Nightcrawler's my favorite mutant, and I feel like they haven't done him good yet.
True.
I kind of liked him in the guy in the original number 2,
Like
the
he's
original
got
Nightcrawler.
He's got so much good lore behind him. Like
Drunky, will you type the list into chat there just so people
Yeah.
have it? That'd be sweet.
apparently, like whenever you see the little smoke when he teleports, that's because
Yeah.
in between teleports he goes to a different like his own hell dimension. Like,
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed Nightcrawler's story.
Yeah, Nightcrawler's cool. Gambit. I actually, this might be controversial. This might be controversial, but I liked your man Taylor Kinch's Gambit from.
Is that the guy from Waco?
The guy
Who's
he was
Gambit
in
from?
like Friday Night Lights and thing. He played Gambit in the Origins movie. I thought he did a really cool job. Okay, so Storm, Iceman, Xavier, Magneto, and Cyclops.
Yeah, I think that's a good list, right?
Yeah.
And then next week after we'll do 5 more.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I like that.
dude,
So
like,
anyone
I really
anyone
wanna
in
hear
chat?
Cyclops, because they've done Cyclops dirty, bro. He's such a hard character to nail, and they've done him dirty.
Yeah,
I feel like
the
it's
dude-
hard to outdo the Xavier and Magneto, or
I
the
know.
Magneto at least.
Magneto is because even like the old man Magneto, like Ian McKellen, is incredible.
It's so good.
It's so good, like, and then the New Age one as well, the First Class guy, like Michael Fassbender, is a fucking legend as well. Like, it's so tough. I think he's like Fassbender did such an amazing job. I found like he was the best part of that
Did you guys
franchise.
like the new Xavier?
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name.
James
The guy from-
McAvoy. He's a Scottish actor. I like him as an actor. I think he kind of grew into the role a bit towards the end, but I thought he didn't start very well. I just was like, this doesn't feel like Xavier at all. Like, he's
Yeah.
getting
He doesn't-
getting pissed in pubs in London and stuff. I'm like, what
You
is
didn't get that
going
connection
on?
that you got when it showed Ian McKellen Magneto with new Magneto,
Yeah.
and then it showed Charles Xavier with new There was
Patrick
a really
Stewart.
good moment there. Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
I think, and you I have to give props to Fox for Days of Future Past, because I think that's one of the best superhero movies ever made. Like, it's just, it was so intelligent. It was just a fantastic way to bring the original X-Men and the new class together on screen. It was just pulled off perfectly. I thought, like, it was a really good movie.
I've never seen a good merging like that. In
Yeah,
another movie.
yeah. Hugh Jackman as well. Like, that was one of his last ones, and he was in the best shape of his life, and all. He just looked incredible. His performance was amazing. I loved when he went back, like, you know, when he gets teleported back and he's in the 70s and stuff. He doesn't even have the adamantium yet and all. I was just like, shit, it's so good. Like, that movie, like, I love rewatching that film. I thought it was
and all like the
amazing.
callbacks they do the whole movie where they're seeing people that are going to affect their future. I loved it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Great use of, like, time travel, just putting his consciousness into his old body. I thought that was really, really well thought out and really well done. Instead of having two of them running around in the usual, like, you know, don't bump into yourself from the past, all that stupid shit. Like, so I just thought it was cool. Just replace his consciousness, and he wakes up and he's like, what the fuck, you know? I just thought that was
Right.
I thought that was it was a bit of a different take on it. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I think that's a good list. I was kind of thinking about it, and I saw for Magneto, I was kind of
Don't spoil.
I was kind of.
Don't spoil.
You don't want me to say? Are we not going to talk about the list? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So everybody, if they
you
can,
yeah.
if they can as well, just to kind of let it sink home. If people want to take part, maybe get on the Discord and put their list in, and maybe put like pictures of the people, because I know like a lot of people don't know who actors and actresses are just by name. So maybe if you can just get a picture of them, that might, and then we can kind of pull them up on the stream, maybe just so we can see, you know, what people are saying. I think that'd be really cool.
Look at this. This is a whole bit. There's a whole bit we're doing next week.
Yeah, that's
Woo.
yeah, absolutely. And then as well, like next week, I'd say it's going to be a long one, because I think episode 5 is going to be an absolute ripper of an episode. I think we're going to be talking about it for a couple of hours.
I hope they bring the show. Like, I gotta be honest, man. Like, I think this show has been too slow paced. I think we're hung up on the same story for too long. I really would have liked this show if they would have gone one of two ways, but obviously they weren't. Well, like, one of the ways I wish they would have went is where, like, maybe they have Captain America, John Walker, like, kind of be the one yanking this girl and her family out of their home, right? To, like, show us why to really give us a character to hate and give us a reason to kind of, like, sympathize with her, right? I don't think they would be able to pull that off, but either way, there's 3 big villains in this show, right? There's Zemo, there's this girl who I forget her name, and then we have, like, Power Broker in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're only like, for the last 5 episodes, we've all been really concerned on this one girl, and Zemo's been coming along like a buddy cop movie for so long. Like, I wish they would have had this thing sectioned off where, like, the first 2 episodes we're dealing with the girl, the second 2 episodes we're dealing with Zemo going bad, and then, like, we end up with the last 2 episodes where we're dealing with the Power Broker. So we have, like, huge arcs for these characters and huge moments for these, like, jam-packed in there. That's why shows like Game of Thrones, like, works, is because they, like, really jam a lot into an hour. And this is just like we're strung along and there's not a lot going on. It's because there's not a lot there to explore in some of these characters. It just kind of feels like we're repeating scenes a little bit, man. I'm just, you know.
I feel like you forget about Power Broker until they re-mention it once or twice an episode. You're like, oh yeah, that dude's lurking around somewhere.
And then they mention Power Broker, and it's like, you know, again, there's been a couple of mentions of Power Broker. People in the chat are saying, like, you know, oh, maybe Sharon is Power Broker, but then, like, you know, Zemo was always referring to him as a man. It's like, he, you know, we don't want to get on his bad side, you know, all this sort of thing. So I don't know if that's like a mislead, but then as well, I think people are forgetting that, like, you know, the Flag Smashers are terrified of Power Broker. You know, they're on the run. They're on the run from Power Broker. So, like, I agree with you, Drunky. I don't know how we haven't seen Power Broker yet when there's only, like, at most 2 hours left in the show.
Yeah, he hasn't created enough friction for the presence they're trying to give him. He hasn't introduced enough friction or
unless
obstacles in the way of anyone.
Unless Power Broker becomes, you know, maybe this is just an introduction and he's the big bad in Hawkeye or something like that.
They're gonna drop a bomb and it's gonna be fucking Wilson Fisk. I'm gonna be like,
oh my god, I love that. I love that.
I could see that, definitely.
I absolutely love
introducing
that.
the MCU's fucking Kingpin. Oh,
and it's him from the Netflix show, and he's just on the run in Madripoor and he's running shit. Oh, That is fantastic, Max. I hope you're right with that.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that with the new Spider-Man coming up. They
Yeah.
finally introduce him in Spider-Man. Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude!
That'd be good,
I've been saying this for years. They need to do Fisk, that version of Fisk, because obviously we're getting Charlie Cox back, so they're merging the Netflix universe into the MCU. Obviously it's in the MCU already, but they're proper bringing it in. So we've got Daredevil show. I would love to see that. I think Kingpin being the power broker would actually be fucking epic.
Because Kingpin was always like considered like the most powerful man as far as like street cred. Like
Oh
dude can,
yeah.
like,
Sure,
he
he
can,
goes.
like,
He was the Lex Luthor of the MCU, pretty much.
He
Exactly,
goes into that prison in season 2 of Daredevil, and like he owns it in a week. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like I would
love to see
fully
it.
understand that if he went on the run. I can't remember. Jeez, I don't know why I can't remember what happened at the end of Daredevil season 3 because I only just watched it, but I think he gets arrested again. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he just breaks out and flees to Madripoor, gets out of New York, and boom. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, they got Zemo out of his prison in like
Clip
20
it,
20
guys.
minutes.
Clip it, guys. We're going viral. We just fucking cracked the MCU right there.
Max is the MCU cracker.
with the name like Power Broker, it only feels so right. You know, like
Yeah.
if that's the big reveal, I'll be fucking all for it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get myself hyped up, but oh man, it'd be good.
Yeah,
It'd be good.
and it just makes
I
sense
took
as
out my
well.
money on Thaddeus Ross. You know, I got my money on Ross. I think you know he's there. We know we got a Thunderbolts show coming down the line.
Yes.
He's someone who's probably like been pushed out of the government because of everything that happened with the Scoville Accords and all this. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever. He may have been pushed to the side.
And he's been working on serums since the Hulk movie, like back in 2008. Yeah,
Yeah,
We're probably gonna get Red Hulk.
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think we are.
so.
And so
Maybe-
I think he's a power broker. He's awfully someone who like would have the connections to set himself up anywhere in the world. And like, you know,
Is that how
and
we-
maybe he's still working with the government too. Like maybe the power broker is behind the scene.
Yeah.
Is like working for the government, you know?
I wonder, would that be then how we get She-Hulk as well? I don't even know the She-Hulk story really. Like, I don't know her origin, like how she gets her
don't either.
ability. I'm gonna presume something like that happens. You know, she either gets exposed to another serum, or I can't imagine. She's a lawyer, so I can't imagine she takes it voluntarily. Like, you know, but I think maybe she's experimented on or something like that, or exposed to
That's what I was
something.
gonna say. Maybe she's like a volunteer for an experiment for the first like Hulk serum. You know, like what if there's like a company who's trying to create like serums for all the Avengers? You know, if they got the super soldier, then obviously they want to do like Miles Morales. Wow, that'd be like a good way to introduce, because I believe someone manufactured the spider that bit Miles. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a radioactive spider like normally. Like it was like
Are
a
they-
lab made spider.
Well,
Are they supposed to choose Miles?
Peter's one was lab made as well, though, right? It
Was
was.
it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oscorp made it.
Is Miles coming to the MCU? Have they said that?
He's
Yes, yeah,
He's technically already
He's
here.
coming.
he is already in it because he's referenced in the first Spider-Man movie. But yeah, he's gonna get his powers. But I think what's actually gonna happen is he'll be an older Miles from a different universe. He'll be pulled in by Strange. So
No.
yeah, bro.
You are so into the multiverse, man.
It's the multiverse of
everything
madness,
you're saying
dude.
about the multiverse for you.
Bro, I don't know, like, I've been watching so much shit, like, as well, and there's, like, loads of new Toby news and everything. Did you hear this week that Sam Raimi said that he is down for another Spider-Man project with Tobey Maguire? So what actually might be happening is that we're actually getting Spider-Man 4, but it's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, it's fucking Tobey's Spider-Man 4. They're an
crazy.
actual sequel, the Sony one. And
Is that
then
what they're setting up the Sinister Six for?
yes, there you go. And
Holy moly.
I
I
saw
get scared of multiverse because I think of like the Flash show, and I feel like when you go as deep as like they went into multiverse, you
Yeah.
ruin it. Like
It gets a little
it's hard. Yeah, it's very hard because it gets sloppy, and then you start bringing back people for easy cash grabs. Like, we'll get Chris Evans back, we'll get fucking Tony Stark back, and then it's kind of like you just ruined Endgame now because the deaths aren't special anymore, because here comes Tony Stark from Earth 50 fucking 3, and he doesn't have a goatee this time. You know, like, it's the same guy, but he's slightly different. But I think a Spider-Verse is where they need to go with it. I don't think they
Or with
should
Loki.
go with what? Loki?
with like TV show, that
Yeah.
makes sense too.
Yeah, yeah. I love the idea of a Spider-Verse show where you've got like Andrew Garfield coming back and all these different versions. Like, you know, you could have a version of Spider-Man where, you know, you get Nick Cage to play him like Spider-Man Noir or something like that.
Nick Cage, like Nicolas Cage.
The actual Nick Cage, yeah, he did the voice in the movie and everything. So why not get him in to play Batman Noir? Or sorry, Spider-Man Noir. Like he literally, he'll do
Drastically different.
he'll do anything. He'll do anything. But yeah, I think that's the way you go. Like, you know, when you get one that's like the Iron Man of that, you know, and then you can have him with the Iron Suit and all that sort of shit. Like, I just think it's an easy win.
All I want is everything I've seen as a kid in the Spider-Man animated show come to life. And
exactly.
It's like slowly happening.
Exactly.
You know? Like,
I think that's what they're doing. That's where it's going, bro.
That was my favorite like Marvel like show ever. Like the moment Disney Plus came out, I binged the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Just to watch it again.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm hoping that we do get like a Sinister Six, but like I know they're gonna fuck up Morbius, and that's what makes me sad. I know Morbius is gonna be bad. I know maybe Venom 2 is gonna be bad, just because how horrible of a casting I think they did for Cletus.
Yeah.
I'm not really excited for like Woody Harrelson to play Cletus. I think the wig looks fucking stupid. So I hope that with this whole Tom Holland shit, they kind of fix it, and I hope that they don't try to bring these people into the universe. I hope we get a different kind of Sinister Six.
Well, like, you know, what they could do technically, because I know, I think someone has confirmed on the inside, apparently a leaker has confirmed that, what's his name? Willem Dafoe is actually going to be the main Osborn for the universe. So how that's possible, because he must not be from Tobey's universe because he died there. So is he actually just from Earth 616, like the MCU Earth, but he's the same character? You know, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Because that's what they did with Jonas, right? Like he's like the same person, just in a different universe.
Who?
Yeah.
James Jonas?
Yeah.
Like it's the same actor playing the same character. It's just their character. That character is on a different path in a different universe. Like instead of being the editor or the chief editor for the Daily Beagle, he's running a podcast where he's like screaming into a mic.
Yeah.
But he's the same guy. It's just different, you know.
Yeah. I think that's what's gonna like. So they'll. Yeah, I just thought. I don't know how they're gonna do, because like bringing Electro in and like bringing Alfred Molina in as Doc Ock and stuff, like they have to be lining up the Spider-Man to return as well. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me otherwise. Like it has to happen. Absolutely has to happen.
Or maybe Tom Holland has to go to their universes to save their universe.
Well, like with the whole Morbius and like Venom and stuff, like they're not the true adaptations of the characters, because they don't include Spider-Man. Like Morbius got his mutation because he started fucking around with Peter's blood and gave it to himself. It mixed with a bat, and that's how Morbius was born. I presume they're gonna have to do it some other different way. And then obviously Venom was Venom just because Peter got the symbiote first. And then obviously it adapted all the Spider-Man abilities and then went into Eddie Brock. Like, but again, they've just kind of butchered those stories. Like I was so angry with that movie just because the potential that movie had, if it was done correctly, was just incredible. And I think all they need to do is just copy the series, like Mech said, just literally copy it fucking page for page and just tell that story in live action, and you have Spider-Man movies for the next 15 years, like easy. And you start bringing the Punisher in, you start bringing Craven in, you start bringing all these people in. Like, you know, you do one movie, then you've got, and I think what they're trying to do, because it sounds like Spider-Man 3 is going to be bringing in Daredevil, and they're going to do the whole thing where Matt Murdock is his lawyer and stuff, and like that's again just kind of taken from that show perfectly. And I just think like they need to just kind of do more stuff like that. And I think maybe just if Doctor Strange somehow changes the timeline, maybe does he allow different stories to be told with Venom? Maybe Venom gets a do-over, like, you know, you retcon his shitty movie and then he comes into the MCU and it's kind of mashed in to the MCU storyline better, and maybe Peter gets the suit. Or you get Toby coming in, who actually had Venom, like the symbiote correctly, and, you know, that kind of maybe just changes Venom's story or something.
I'd
like that.
love to see Tom Holland with a Venom suit somehow, some way.
Yeah, like I love that whole storyline. It's just,
And I really hope
beautiful.
they don't mess up Carnage.
You know, the guy who Seth MacFarlane, what's his name? Oh my god, Seth something. The guy who created Venom, he came on as an artist for Marvel around issue 300, and he started drawing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was his favorite character growing up, and he literally came up with the idea of Venom because when he came on to write the comics and draw Spider-Man, he was in the black suit at the time, and he literally invented the Venom character just to get the black suit off Spidey so he could draw him in blue and red. That's a true
That's
story.
great. He just wanted to draw his favorite.
That's it. Yeah,
character.
he created one of the best villains in the MCU.
I
like,
love the
in Marvel.
symbiote.
Oh, it's incredible! Like
They're all so good. Yeah.
it's so good, and like it's amazing storytelling, and just the fact that was created out of pure selfishness for that guy to be able to draw Spider-Man just while
That's good.
he's probably in contract for like 20 issues of the comic, so he's like, shit, issue 300, let's create Venom, like, so it's like we got to get that suit off him, so we create a new guy to take over the mantle. I just thought that was incredible. Like,
That was really good. I love that story.
Benji, what's up? How are you?
Love it.
Yeah, dude, I always thought that was amazing. I've been trying to get my hands on some of those comic books just to have for my collection. Like, I have the first appearance of Carnage, and I bought the Carnage run for the next 3 series. I got them when I was in Jersey in Kevin Smith's shop. I walked into Kevin Smith's comic book shop, the one that was on the TV show, Comic Book Men. And I met Zapka, the dude on the show. He was just standing behind the till. I was like, what the fuck? This is incredible. Because, like, when you see, like, reality TV like that, you kind of sometimes think that it's just fake or whatever. Like, I think it's staged.
Yeah.
But I walk into the shop and Zapka is just there. And he's just chilling, like,
That's funny.
Oh, it was crazy. So I was in that shop and I was like, I'm probably never going to come back here in my life again. So I was like, I'm going to buy some Top Shelf comics. So I bought one issue for like $100. And then the next issue was, I think, 75, and the issue after that was like 50. I was just like, fuck it, I'm never gonna be here again. I was like, let's do this, like, and I'm kind of praying in that sense that the Carnage movie does good, just for my own personal benefits, because I just want those comics to go up in value. But I don't know, I don't have high hopes for it. Like, as Max was saying,
the only comic book I have in my collection that's probably going to be worth something in the future is I have the first appearance of the Sinister Six. And
nice.
I have it still like in the wrapping and everything too. So like it's really well taken care of. And the funny story about that too is I got it from my mother-in-law's yard sale.
You told me the story, bro. Yeah.
She had it in a fucking free bin. So she was having a yard sale, and then she had like a box full of stuff that was all just free. Like, you see anything in here you want, grab it, take it home with you.
Yeah.
And at the end, she's like, okay, well, it's over. Like, whatever you guys want, just take it. So I start going through the free bin. I'm like, all right, well, let me see what's in here. And I find the comics.
I would have taken the whole fucking bin, bro.
It was her husband's brothers. They were his.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm taking these. I was like, I'm disappointed in you guys for not even telling me you were gonna give them away.
Yeah.
It's like, knowing damn well how much I love Spider-Man. I was like, get the fuck out of here. It was like 6 comics.
Bro, you'll be retired, dude, and you're gonna buy a car with that comic book, and you're gonna just be like, you nearly fucking threw this out. Yeah, guaranteed.
I also have the Wolverine versus the Punisher too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's sweet. I don't really collect much Marvel now, to be honest. Like, my most valuable books are actually Marvel, funnily enough, but what I collect on a kind of weekly basis is pretty much all DC. The only Marvel title that I collect is Spider-Man. But yeah, like, oh man, that's such a great story. Did you ever watch Storage Wars? You know that TV show, the reality
Yeah, I
TV
watch
show?
it all the time. Mm-hmm.
Did you see?
I watch a lot of Pawn Stars too.
One of the main guys in that, I can't remember his name, from like the first couple of seasons, he got his fortune by opening up a storage locker, which in the 80s had the 9th largest comic book collection in it, and he made something like $3 million off it in 1980. Bought a big mansion, bought the locker for like $100. Opens the fucking door.
That's crazy.
Opens the door. It's like, boom, fucking comic books everywhere. 9th biggest collection in the world at the time.
They always replay that clip now of that guy that tried to sell all of his like Charizards to the Pawn Stars, and they said no, and they missed out
Oh
on
my
like
god.
millions.
Yeah. I don't get the whole Pokemon thing, man. I can't remember
It's
I was in someone's stream the other day, and they were asking me, was I a collector? And I was like, I haven't liked Pokemon since I was 11 years old, but I don't get it personally. But you know, obviously all these guys are jumping on it, obviously because it's got value now. I don't think they're actually Pokemon fans, but I missed out on the whole thing. I don't know what the fuck it's about. I see all these people opening up cards, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But like, obviously, I think he was telling me something about one of the, like, was it Logan Paul or something, opened up some fucking Charizard card and got it valued at like $500,000 or something stupid, and then it just jumped up the value of everything or something like that. It's just wild. Like, the world we live in now is just ridiculous. Like, the fact that, like, you know, a famous person can say that they don't use an app anymore and it kills the app, like, you know. It's like it's a crazy world we live in. Like,
What's crazy is the thing that people do these days is they'll buy the box of first edition
yeah,
like sets, and they'll sell each pack for like $11,000, $10,000, and you pay them $10,000 for them to open up, and obviously you get to keep whatever cards
yeah,
are in there. But like it's like Logan Paul, whenever he did that, he probably didn't spend too much of his own money because he got it all reimbursed on people paying $11,000 a pack and maybe not even getting their money back out of it.
yeah.
That
Like,
stuff's crazy.
yeah, like, imagine buying a packet of cards for $11,000 and you could potentially buy a packet of shit. Like, it's not worth anything. Is that where it goes? Like, it's kind of like you know, you might get like a gold card
It's
or
like
a platinum
gambling.
one or something. Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
gambling for kids.
Yeah. I remember I used to collect, like, they used to do these, like, football sticker books and shit when we were young, like, and you'd buy packets down the shop. I used to always piss my dad off. Oh, will you buy me some packets of cards? And you'd go down and you'd spend like a couple of like dollars buying me packets of cards, and you'd open them up and you'd have them all, and you just fuck them all in the bin. Like, and he's just like, just throw those cards in the bin. I'd be like, yeah, I have them all already. And he'd be like, are you insane? Like, you know, he'd be going mad at me, like, I just spent money on them, like, and I'm like, that's just that's that on steroids right now. Like, you know, people are just spending stupid amounts of money buying all these cards. Like, if you have a card that's worth nothing, like, or like the lowest grade card, is it still worth anything? Like, are you going to make any of that 11,000 back, or are you flushing $11,000 down the toilet?
You're flushing, if it's a bad pack, you're flushing $10,980 down the toilet, probably.
That is the scariest thing that I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, the fact like that, and I don't know if I should be impressed by that humanity is at this point where we can flush $11,000 down the toilet, or if it's like
the craziest
if it's
thing
the
is,
scariest thing in the
even
world.
Best case scenario, you only stand to at most like maybe 4x your money. At most, like in being the luckiest person out of every pack, I think the most you can stand to get out of it is to quadruple your money. But like, you can go gamble and with $11,000 and probably make way more.
Yeah, I find it terrifying that people have that much money to kind of throw around right now. Because I see like normal people like opening these packs.
There's this new thing going out right now called I don't know the abbreviation anymore, but it's these creators are creating non-physical collectors items that like
NFTs.
NFTs, thank you. NFTs. That they're pretty much like.
Explain to me. I've never heard this.
It's pretty much like a collector's card. An NFT can be anything digital. Like, for example, when Logan Paul did those card openings, he created an NFT, which is like
it's a non-fungible token.
Yeah, it's like a Bitcoin, but without
Gotcha.
it being value, without it being currency. It's a collector's Bitcoin of Logan Paul.
So it's people selling screenshots, basically.
Yes.
It's a way you own. It's a way to own something digitally.
Gotcha.
That can't be reproduced. Like that person owns that, and you can't reproduce that because you get it's part of the blockchain, right? So like your code for that is your certificate of authenticity, basically.
Right.
So it's a way to do digital stuff, and there are huge implications for it, bro. Huge.
So Logan Paul is like potentially like taking a picture, and it's a 1 of 1 or something, is it? And he sells it.
Like he got a graphics artist to make his own Pokemon card of him,
right?
And then he had that digitally for everyone that bought a pack or whatever got a copy of that NFT.
Yeah. Okay.
He made like $5 million off of it, like in one day.
Bro, I'm scared. I'm scared where we're going. I'm scared. I think I
It's
saw
so good.
I saw a very funny meme today where it was like Ultron is the best villain in the MCU history because he jumped on the internet for 10 minutes and decided that humanity needed to be destroyed. It took him 10 minutes, bro.
He's not wrong.
He surfed the internet and went, "Fuck this, these are going down."
He found the Chan websites and was like, nope, 4chan, 8chan, it's done, bro.
Oh, that made me laugh when I read that today. I showed that to my girlfriend. She's like, "I would have needed 5 minutes. I would have needed the 10." Oh.
He found TikTok.
Mintal in the chat there. Can we agree that it's nice to have Kyle Krunk back? Amen, brother. Amen.
Kyle's back.
He's back.
I'm just here to hang out with these beautiful men.
This
How
is
could
what
I
it,
resist?
this is what it's for,
It
guys.
is.
You know, we're not taking this too seriously. It's marvelous chats. We're just
I just
chatting.
noticed your
Marvelous
chair
chat.
Spider-Man, Max. I just noticed that.
Yeah. It's a
Dude,
sweet
I
chair.
have a wall of Spider-Man behind me, dude.
Yeah.
It's all slowly.
Max ain't messing with the Spider-Man. My
So you don't like
my
Spider-Man?
my chair is a Maxonomic that says Finto on it.
That's all Spider-Man do.
Oh,
It's backwards, but it says my name on it. Like it's backwards on the camera, not backwards in real life.
All right. Besides comic, what's your most prized Spider-Man possession besides the comic?
Who?
Mine?
Besides any of your comics, like the Sinister Six one.
The 1980s Japanese Hot Wheel. The Comic Con.
I used to collect Hot Wheels. Let me see that, bro.
That
That is
Never
yeah.
been open.
You sent me that.
Brand new.
Oh, that's
brand new,
Oh,
never
that's-
been open.
You sent me
Bro,
that.
Japanese Spider-Man. The elusive Japanese Spider-Man.
how much money would we have to raise for you to build across your house Hot Wheels track and roll that thing down it? How much money do we need to raise for that? Because
I don't know. God,
Go fund me,
Like-
baby.
I'm hoping this like pays for my kids' college in the future. Like that's what I'm hoping for.
that
Nice.
thing's cool, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, but we'll
That
make
is
it.
cool.
We'll make that video NFT though. You know what I mean? We're gonna make a lot of
Oh
money off of
yeah.
it.
Hell
If the
yeah.
car, if it can make a loop, then you're selling.
Oh yeah.
My prized possession is
Falcon Winter
my
Soldier.
Toby that's signed by Stan Lee. Did you see that?
Yeah, I lost it.
we got a bit off track there, yeah.
That's signed by
Uh,
Stan Lee.
Yeah. It's the frame picture that's on the wall there. You can't really see it with the thing. Hang on, let me go get it. Hang on. Let me turn this. One
Oh,
sec.
here we go. All right, boys. Falcon Winter Soldier, though, while he's grabbing that. Where do you think they end the show, episode 6? You think Bucky and Falcon are getting along or buddy-buddy, or do you think they separate?
I think Bucky might go back to Wakanda to feed into the White Wolf stuff more. Go to like train, get his head right.
I feel like he's kind of tapping back into his old mind, and he's like, "Nah, like I'm not ready yet." Like, so I kind of agree with that. Because
Uh-huh.
within the trailer, you can see like them walking away from each other.
Right.
So like, I think he's gonna be like, "Hey Sam, like you better like take care of like they need you here, you know, like so be good, and like I'll see you when I see you," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I think with them giving him, if Bucky was staying around, the way he's talked about the shield the whole show so far, you'd think that he'd want to be the one with it almost.
Right.
So I have to feel like he's gonna make some sort of exodus at the end.
What about you, Bronx? Do you think he goes back to Wakanda, or do you think he stays in the States?
I'm not sure. I think he might go back to Wakanda, yes. But I don't think like they had this beef when it all started, the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they had the third base session, like I hate you, you hate me. We're just gonna go our separate ways when we're done with this. But I think they're working back towards like being buddies.
Check this
Yeah,
out.
I don't think they're gonna end up like, nah, you go that way, I go
That's
this way.
awesome.
Oh,
I don't know if you can
that
see that
is, I
properly.
like that.
I can
I
see,
see
you
Max
all you guys
drooling.
in the reflection. But
can see
yeah,
Max
that's
drooling.
Toby from
Oh,
the
yeah.
first movie, and signed by Stan.
That's awesome.
Have you got it valued yet?
So see, there's actually an authenticity cert on the bottom there, and you can go on and check it on the website. It was apparently signed by Stan in Texas, but my sister got it in New York in an auction. So she mailed me. She texted me, like, she knows I'm a big fucking like Spider-Man nerd. And she texted me and she was like, how much would you pay for like a signed picture of like Spider-Man? And I was like, this was like just after Stan died, and I was like, oh Jesus, like I don't know, like, you know, like that could be worth anything, like. So she ended up winning the auction and getting it, and she sent it home to me like for a kind of housewarming when I moved into this place.
That's all.
So
Yeah.
I was like, what the
That's
fuck?
crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. So I'm wishing that Toby gets a new movie, or if he shows up in the MCU, because I think that thing is just gonna fucking buy me a retirement home in California or something, like, you know.
So the question you missed, Vinto, Drunky was asking, where do you think Falcon and Winter Soldier go at the end of the show? Where do you think it leaves off with those two?
I think Bucky goes back to Wakanda, and he becomes the White Wolf fully.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna get like a badass suit, like made by Thing's sister, like, who is probably gonna be the new Panther as well.
Yeah.
I heard someone mention it earlier, but I just want to like make praise of this again. Just how quick they were fucking able to disarm him, like literally.
Oh, they're
Like,
mate.
Oh yeah.
she just walked up, was like boop boop beep
Yep.
beep bop. Dude's arm just fell off.
Yeah.
I was like,
He was like,
The best part is, did you know that she could do that?
Yeah, I love.
I was
I,
like,
no.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. She just looks at him like, and it's just like, yeah, we made that fucking thing. Like, you know what, she was thinking that.
Yeah.
For a second, I
Yeah,
thought she
trained
was.
on you.
For a second, I thought she was like completely like disarming it, like it was done, like he wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be able to put it back on. And I was like, oh.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just
That
like
would be-
fucking off switch, boom, see you later.
That
And
would
the
have been a
fact-
great story moment, man. If they would have set that up where he loses his arm, it's like,
He has to get it
what
back.
are you without your arm? Now, like you
A
had
super
your
soldier
arm
with one arm.
forever.
I almost thought she was gonna pick that shit up and just walk off with it.
Imagine she
Like
slapped
that.
him with it.
This is ours.
It just goes. Psh.
Bends his arm and just walks away with it.
Yeah, I love the.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
I love the bit when the guard kicks up the shield and catches it like the way Steve did in the elevator.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you know, she was fully about to walk off with it because, like, you know, that's Wakandan property
Yeah.
technically. And then your one's like, no, just leave it there, let her keep it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I thought that was, that was amazing.
And
That
the
was very
fact
cool.
that it was like you like should worry about them before you worry about Bucky. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like
Yeah.
that's like they're so scary. Like seriously, like
They
They
are
threw the spear and trapped his arm without hitting him. Oh.
yeah.
I know.
They are the reason that he took the serum 100%. Like, he got danced on by these little bald women. You know what I mean? So it's like,
he was like he was all fucked up, and he was like, they're not
Yeah.
even super soldiers.
yeah,
Oh my
he's
God.
like, he's
Yeah.
like, fuck, I gotta level the playing field. Like, and that's still how I feel about Sam. I think he needs to do the same thing.
He doesn't want it though. He did say it this.
Yeah,
this
he
episode.
said he wouldn't take it, but I think he's
So
he's batshit if he doesn't take it.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna take it.
I just don't see
feel
him.
I feel like
it's
I feel like
in
he's gonna
his
have it.
character.
I feel like he's gonna have it maybe in the next episode, in the last episode, but I've seen a lot of comic book references, and Drunky mentioned it earlier, and I can't stop thinking that they're working towards just destroying it completely.
Destroying the shield.
Yeah, just getting rid of it.
Well, I know how the story went in the comics because I didn't really know much about John Walker, and I said, look, I need to go and do a bit of research on John Walker, and I know how it happened in the comics was he got the shield, and then Steve came back, and they had a big epic fucking battle for the shield, and, you know, John Walker's like, it doesn't belong to you anymore, and then
I would love to see old man Steve beat his ass.
I'd love to just see like a different version of Steve, or a time traveling Steve come back, fuck him up, take the shield, and then he just hand delivers it to Sam and, like, you know, don't give it away this time. I love how pissed off Bucky is as well. Like, every episode he's thrown in like, why'd you give it away? Like, why'd you give it to Walker? And he's like, I didn't give it to him. You know, I just think that back and forth
Could have
between the two
avoided
of them.
all this if you didn't give up the shield, bro.
I think the back and forth between the two of them is just, it gets better every episode. I know it could be better, but I just think their relationship gets better, and I wouldn't.
Short hair Bucky is best Bucky, in my opinion.
He is, you know,
good.
the flashback scene that we were watching at the start of the episode. I just saw so much Mark Hamill in his face in that during that scene. Like, I was just like, this is the next Luke Skywalker. I don't know if you guys saw sorry, go ahead, Junkie.
Well, I was just gonna say that opening scene, the Wakanda music.
Yeah.
Is the Wakanda music is there nothing better in the MCU besides like the actual Avengers theme song?
It gets
but
you
like, when
hyped,
you hear
dude.
that Wakanda music, you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
it's going down.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Something's about to happen. Buckle up.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, like in Black Panther, you see them all, like, you know, throwing their shoulders around and all. Like, it's just such a vibe. Like, yeah, it's
it
great.
just hypes you up, bro. Like, fuck.
It does.
Wakandans know how to get you, like, before every fight scene, you're always like, I'd be up in there doing that. I don't even know how to fight, but they'd get me in there.
Yeah.
I'll be some fodder.
When Bucky was enjoying Walker getting beaten down, and he says in chat, yeah, that was very funny. Like, he's just like, you know, like, yeah, you okay over there, bro?
When Sam goes, "Oh, you're looking strong, John."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At that point, I think he obviously he hadn't taken it at that stage, but at that point, or he didn't even have it at that stage, did he? Did he have it at that stage?
No, it was.
If I had it at that stage, I would have whipped
will
it out
say-
in front of everyone and just been like,
One of her
"Fuck it,
chicks
let's
was
go."
a giant, though. I don't know if you noticed, but like the third chick that shows up that's fighting, she was a giant, bro. I'd be afraid of her regardless.
I would be afraid of the smallest one. Like they're warriors. Like they're just terrifying to look at. Like, you know, like seeing them coming at you with the spears and all. Fuck. Like I love that first scene in Black Panther. You know, when he goes to see it's in when they go to Compton or whatever in like 91, and you know your man answers the door and the two of them are just standing there and you're just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like the presence they have is just absolutely terrifying. Like yeah, it's great. And I love the fact where it's like, you know, Walker's like, you don't have jurisdiction to be here, and it's like, we're kind of like, yeah, we do whatever the fuck we want. Like,
I just love how they don't.
We make our own jurisdiction.
They have the craziest technology ever, and they just don't use it to fight rarely. Like the only technology we saw them use, I think, so far in this whole series were those little beads that they were tracking Bucky with. But like all their fighting is just down and dirty. Like, I'm just a better fighter than you.
So apparently as well, this is a bit of a guesstimate or a theory dump, but it's been said that in episode 5, which is next week's episode, there's going to be a cameo in it that is going to bring the crowd to tears, is how it was described by somebody in Disney. So a lot of people are saying that because most of the show was shot before COVID, they think that it could be Chadwick. Yeah, we're going to get a Chadwick cameo. And to be honest, I think I would be an absolute mess watching that. Like, honestly, that would hit me so hard,
especially if they framed it already in some sort of emotional way before knowing everything. Like,
I think because I think I said this when was it at the end of last week. You know, I think that Chadwick probably maybe they've kind of shot it or something or re-edited it, because I would say Chadwick probably was supposed to be the one in the alleyway to meet Bucky. You know, because it would just obviously make so much sense for him to be there, like Zemo getting out, and he's the man who killed his father and so on. But I really would not be surprised if we have a little tiny Black Panther appearance at the end of episode 5, maybe, or something like that.
I'm surprised they haven't showed the sister at all. Like,
it's gonna be like Zemo like run into his plane and fucking Black Panther's just gonna land right in front of it. Boom, like you ain't going anywhere. Like
I could have definitely seen like Black Panther in the scene where the campfire, like deprogramming. Bucky,
I didn't want to say anything, obviously, but I thought that was what was going to happen. I thought when the second I saw the Wakanda flashback, I thought like after your one said, you know, you're healed now, I was expecting her to turn around and Chad would be standing there or something like, oh, we've got work to do or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been just whoa, it would have been incredible.
So it could be Chadwick in the next one. What if like Old Man Cap showed up?
I
like the one who's like, this is his shield.
I like that too. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
But it's not it is confirmed that he's still alive. I got the impression because I watched the first episode again.
That he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I feel like
as well. I don't think he can just show up as Old Man Cap because the world knows him to be himself, and it's kind of just. Everyone kind of says, you know, you have to tell me the story of where he went and so on, or where did he disappear to, because I think that's referenced in episode 2. Somebody says to Sam, like, are you going to tell me what happened to Steve? So no one knows that he obviously went back in time, and there's just an old man who's now Steve Rogers rocking around. So I think if he walked up and, you know, during a press conference and was just like, hey, I'm Steve Rogers, like, give this shield to Sam, I wanted him to have it. I think, like, Planet Earth's mind would melt, like, you know, they don't, like, I don't think you can just expose that, like, so.
I miss that. So Sam's the only one that knows what Cap did? Sam is the only one that knows that he went back?
Sam and Bucky, and I presume Bruce as well, because, well, I don't know. Like, obviously, the end of Endgame is the two of them walking over to the bench, and they have the conversation with him as an old man. Now, whether they told anybody after that, I presume they probably told Banner, because, you know, he's fucking around with the computer, trying to bring him back.
He just shows up with Captain America's shield. Like, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Like, where's Steve at?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this little guy, don't worry about this little guy.
Didn't Thanos rip that thing in half? What the fuck? Where'd you get that yoke from?
I would say that the general public just doesn't know. I could totally see them thinking that Captain died in the battle with Thanos, like Iron Man did, because they already show us that like they don't really tell the public what's really going on behind the scenes, you know. So I could totally see a place where people think that Captain's just dead, you know, like he's just, you know, after he died in the battle, and that's that, and you know they're none the wires, and that's why they had like the big, you know, kind of ceremony for the shield at the thing, because they want to sell that idea to the public.
Yeah.
If they did bring Cap back, I'd like to see it involved with like Isaiah too. That'd be cool. Like Isaiah,
right,
Bucky.
so-
Oh jeez.
I gotta go, but I'm gonna say one thing before I go, referring to next week's episode. I think Carly's gonna try to go to Isaiah's house, or like one of the Flag Smashers are gonna go, and like the nephew is gonna be right there, or the grandson is gonna be right there, and like she's probably gonna try to like punch, and he's gonna like catch
the
her
hand.
fist,
Yeah.
like no, you're not doing anything, you know, and like.
So what you
Yeah.
think?
Like-
Flag Smashers are going to try and take Isaiah to make more serum?
Because he's the only guy who can be used to make more serum, you know. So they're probably like, he's the guy. Like if he's still alive, we got to go get him. And I think like that's when like it's gonna be his like grandson's time to step up. Like nope, like get away, you know. Like
Thinking how his grandson hasn't showed much of a appearance yet.
I would love to see it, but I'm out of here, guys. I got to get ready for work.
Have a
I
great
love you
day.
all.
Later, Max.
Thanks for
Have a
being here,
good day.
dude.
Take care, bro.
Later.
Bye, Jack.
Enjoy
Yeah,
work.
bye-bye.
Enjoy work.
See, we were talking about this kind of like last week, bro, and I think Zemo shows up at Isaiah's house, and Zemo's the one, since he hates, you know, superpower people. They were talking about Isaiah in front of Zemo, and so I think Zemo's gone right now, and I think he's gonna be disappeared, and we're not gonna see Zemo for the rest of the show, and then I think he shows up post credit at Isaiah's door.
Well, you did see in that trailer, like I've watched that trailer for the next week's episode. I've watched it like 4 times now, but there is a scene in that where you see Bucky looks like he's grabbing a gun that Zemo's holding, and he like crushes it to disarm it or something like that.
So you
and
think Zemo's going to kill Isaiah right now?
I think Zemo is probably going to finish the job, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
Zemo maybe he does, maybe he kills Isaiah, and not knowing that the grandson has abilities, and then he goes to the Young Avengers. And then maybe his last mission might be then to go and take out Bucky to finish it off.
Is there any chance John Walker survives this show?
Yes.
You think?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
Marvel kind of leaked it already, where they released the toys, and the toy range for the TV show is actually, he's labeled as US agent or whatever his name is.
I
I think
definitely am dying.
yeah, no, I think what'll happen is he'll be around. He won't be Captain America. He'll turn into US agent, and then we might see him pop up again in something like maybe one of the movies, or he might pop up in the Hawkeye show or something like that. I think that kind of makes sense.
They did a really good job casting him, because whenever you see him, you're just like, I would punch that dude in the face. He looks.
Oh yeah.
out of pocket right now.
I watched a great interview with him, because like I knew him as an actor for a little bit, and obviously he's Kurt Russell's son. So like, you know, he's got the kind of acting royalty. But I think I watched an interview with him, and apparently he has no MCU knowledge whatsoever, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. He was asked in an interview, you know, did you know much about the character going in? And he's like, he didn't even see any of the MCU movies. So he went in.
So
and
you could say he could also be a director.
yeah. He literally went in and fobbed his way through the audition, and, you know, when asked about questions about things, he's like, oh, I don't really know about that. And apparently he was saying while he was on the set, he was talking to like Sebastian Stan and stuff, and he's like, oh, so what does this mean? And like, you know, who's this character and what's their backstory? And Sebastian Stan's like, bro, just get through your lines, don't ask questions, you're gonna get lost. Like, but could you imagine, like, you know, I don't really know that much about the history of a lot of these characters, but, you know, if I get hired to be in a fucking MCU TV show, I'm going to go back and watch those 24 fucking movies, like, you know what I mean? At least, bare minimum, and then maybe do a Wikipedia search on John Walker, like, you know, this guy went in blind, like, I got to respect it in a way, like, you know, at least he's not corrupted by previous things, he's doing his own thing, I suppose.
I guess that gives it a good authenticity too, because I feel like John Walker's supposed to be this like guy that's filling shoes that he's not gonna fill, and he's just out of his element. And if he doesn't know anything about the MCU, that would help play towards the role.
Good, yeah.
is it normal for a superhero to change names? I don't know anything about stuff. Endgame was the first I've ever seen, aside from the OG Spider-Man. So yeah, like people definitely take up different mantles and stuff like that. That is quite common. You know.
Yeah, Captain America goes to like Nomad for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like,
even more.
Hawkeye's Ronin.
Even more recently in the comics, Steve Rogers actually flipped and went to work for Hydra and became Hydra Cap, which I think would be a really cool.
Was his name really Hydra Cap?
Yeah. I think that would be a fucking epic way to bring Chris Evans back. Imagine like multiverse opens up, you grab a Chris Evans thinking like, oh, we're gonna bring Cap back, but whoops, we brought back an evil one instead. Like, you know, and then he's like working for Hydra. I think that'd be fucking sweet.
I mean, they did make him fight himself, and he thought that one scene in Endgame where he fights himself to get the Tesseract.
Yeah,
he thinks he's a part of Hydra there.
Exactly. Yeah, I think.
He says it in the elevator. He's like, "Hell, Hydra."
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah, where he's whispering to your
hands it over.
Did you see that meme where it's John Walker in the elevator? He's like before. No. Oh, it's so funny, dude. It's like you know where Steve has his back to everybody, and he's like, before we get started, does anybody want to get off? You know that line from the movie?
Yeah.
It's like it's John Walker, and he's standing there, and it's like, before we get started, does anyone want to let me off? I love all the John Walker shit, Laura. It's so funny. He's such a meme. Like, it's just hilarious. But I think you're 100% right in what you were saying, Drunky. Like, I think it's very clever what they did by bringing him in, because nobody was happy. Well, sorry, obviously people were happy, but I think a lot of the fandom wasn't very happy with Sam getting the shield. And now I think it's like everyone's cheering for Sam to get the shield. Everyone wants, so they've just gone and done a 180, which I think is very, very clever in how they've sold it. And then obviously you're going to have him as US agent. And I just think if you have Sam get the shield, I just think he needs Serum on top, because they have to have like an epic battle between US agent and Captain America to reclaim the mantle, like, you know? And I just think Sam, I don't know how Sam holds up against John Walker now. Like you saw how strong he was towards the end of that episode. Like, I think he fucks up Sam in a fist fight. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets it in the comic book or not. You know, like I just don't know if Falcon actually gets it, the serum.
Did Falcon ever have his own comics?
I think Falcon in the comic books, because I only read Civil War recently, and in the comic books, like, Falcon is an absolute badass in the comic books. Like, he's holding his own with Cap. Like, he seems to be on a very similar level to Captain America now. I don't know if he gets an injection. Maybe someone in the chat can Google
how's
it for
his flying
us.
skill in the comic books? Are they up to your levels?
No.
Legendary.
No.
He said no.
Like in the comics, like his drone or whatever is an actual bird who he can talk with. He's a really wild character, man. Like, he's wild. Like,
He looks like Blade to me or something in the comics. Like, he's wearing the glasses.
It's funny
and he's
you say that.
Jacked up and stuff. Like,
I was thinking today watching the episode that the guy that plays Battlestar, I was thinking that guy would do so good as a redo of Blade. He could play Blade really well. I think.
You don't think? I don't know. He looks a little too happy to me.
Oh, we could make him angry. He got killed off without even getting a full season in the MCU. I'm pretty sure he's angry.
I think that I like the guy who they cast as Blade, actually. He was in Luke Cage. He played the main bad guy from the first season, which technically he's now two different characters in the same universe, but we won't go there.
I don't know if he's in the same universe.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's how they do it. Oh, Doctor Strange, you're going to make things silly, bro.
Doctor Strange, I can't wait. I think that's the one I'm most excited for.
I think that is going to literally...
Netflix television shows are in the MCU universe, but the MCU universe show doesn't have the Netflix shows in it. Like, that's 100% how it is. And it's just the way it is.
I think Charlie Cox coming into Spider-Man 3 kind of debunks that, though, right?
Did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
they treat him as
an
all new Daredevil. I think they treat him all new. He's same character, same whatever, but they have their own story. They have their own Daredevil stuff they do with them.
So
they just cast the same actor.
So it's not the same Matt Murdock at all. It's a different universe version of him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it could be. Like, it could still be Matt Murdock in just a different universe, and they're just gonna treat it like the Netflix shows didn't happen.
Or they're a different universe.
Or you might not even be Matt Murdock. Like they just got him cast as a lawyer, and so it's just kind of like a fun little nod, kind of like they did with Quicksilver, where like,
Oh, dude,
you're not really.
That would piss me off so much, bro. Oh my god, bro. I would actually lose the plot if that happened. I'd go crazy. That would drive me nuts now. Because the whole Evan Peters thing still stings. Like, that was an absolute middle finger from fucking Kevin Feige. Like, that was the biggest middle finger ever. And I just think if they do that again, and especially with Punisher as well, because I know Punisher and Charlie Cox, Daredevil, both got the green light to cross over. So
are they keeping what's his name from Walking Dead as the Punisher?
Yes,
he did really good. Bartholomew or
John Berthel.
Yes,
Berthel.
Yeah, he is staying, and I think what they've confirmed. Oh, sorry, go on.
I would rather them redo the Punisher story because it's a good TV show, but they can do it so much better, man.
Yeah, he was a good Punisher, but the show content itself and the way they did it, I didn't think held up to like the movie, the storyline behind the movie.
Yeah.
Like
the second season of Daredevil just isn't that strong, bro. Like it's there's a lot of really cool brutal scenes in it, but story wise, I'm just like, eh.
I found that with all of the Netflix shows, to be honest. I think they had a very, very powerful season 1, and then they kind of dropped the ball. And I think even like if you watch, Daredevil is definitely the best superhero TV show thus far. I think, like, for me, it's my favorite. I love Kingpin. I thought he was portrayed perfectly. I love Charlie Cox. I think he's a great actor. He's a phenomenal Matt Murdock. And I think even season 2, I like the girl who played Elektra, and I love the whole Elektra story. But the season as in its entirety was a bit slow. But I just loved all the Elektra episodes. And then even into season 3, I thought it was a good show. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I think that I think it would be very strange, because I think that like that series has a lot of fans, and I think if you bring in Charlie Cox but he's not that Matt Murdock, I think that's very strange and very confusing for people.
I think it could be, but I also don't think Kevin Feige gives a fuck. You know, I think he's like one of those dudes. Like, this is it. This is our vision. Get with the program.
Did you hear Feige talking about Feige? Did you hear he's been recruited by Disney to step into Star Wars as well? And
I know he had a movie, but are they bringing him in further than that?
They're looking to, in their words, get a Star Wars MCU on the go. That's what they're planning. So
that's a terrible idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're too late in the game for that, I think.
It really depends. Yeah, it really depends where they go with it. I think if
I don't think they can keep 20 years of interest of Star Wars like from now, because I think there's.
Well, here's something that happened today or yesterday. I posted it on Discord. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Lucasfilm trademarked the title Skywalker Academy. So whether they're going to use it for a video game or whether they're going to use it for a TV show, or it might be something animated, but a lot of people are thinking that what's going to happen is they're going to actually use it as a show that bridges Mandalorian into the sequel trilogy. So you're going to have young Luke training up like child Ben and starting the Jedi, the new temple and so on, and then obviously it's going to tie into episode 7 where Kylo turns bad and destroys the temple. So I think...
Do you think they really call it Skywalker Academy? That's like the cheesiest name you could ever have, bro. It's terrible.
If that's not like a reality show with kids at school.
Yeah.
It sounds like something at a theme park. Like, it sounds like, hey, Skywalker Academy, this is where you can come and build your lightsaber, kids. Like,
I think the video game. I think if what he said at first, like a video game, I think that's the only place.
Well, they did all that already though. Like, did you ever play the Jedi Academy games like back in the day on Xbox? Like, they were incredible.
No, I played Force Unleashed.
Yeah, no, this was years before that. This was like around the time of the Knights of the Old Republic and stuff. They released a series of games called Jedi Academy, which were amazing. Like, they followed a new Jedi who was trained by Luke, and amazing.
Yeah, but
I want to see that. I don't care if it's in animation. I don't care if it's in live action. Obviously, I prefer it in live action. Sebastian Stan playing a young Luke, I think, would just be absolute fucking fire. And then you could potentially bring Adam Driver in and just tell the stories just before episode 7, and then you're bringing the two worlds together. I just think they did such a fuck up of tying the saga together that I think they need to do something to bridge it better in the middle, and they're calling it the kind of Favreau verse or whatever the fuck, or Filoni verse, and I think it could work, and I think it's got power. I think it really could work.
That's why I think it's weird that they're bringing in Kevin Feige to, like, if they were bringing him over to, like, kind of, you know, quarterback the whole thing and oversee everything like that. Why wouldn't they just have unless they turned it down, they don't want to do it, Favreau and Filoni doing it?
No,
It
I
seems
think I think Feige's just going to work with them. I think they are doing it. Filoni and Favreau are doing it, but they're bringing in Feige as well to kind of oversee things and kind of put a bit of a MCU sprinkle on it. I think that's the whole end game. But I like the idea. I think there's a lot of story to be told in those 30 years between the two movies. Like, you know, you've got, like, even between episode 1 and episode 6, I think there's a span of something like, is it 30 years as well or something like that? So I think there's another original saga timeline in between 6 and 7, and I think there's a lot of story to be told there, especially if you've got an Ahsoka show taking place at the same time, Mando season 3, the Boba Fett show, potential Skywalker show. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got, like, years of content there.
I think if they continue going down this road, they're going to be successful. But if they do try to do anything MCU like type-esque,
well, I just think every show that I've just listed off there, I think that's the verse, like that's the Filoni verse. I think it's all in TV, and it's all just these shows crossing over with each other. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you get, like, season 1 of Ahsoka, and then at the very end of it, you know, she finds Luke, and Luke's with Grogu, and he's starting the temple, he's training Grogu, and then Ahsoka comes in, meets back up with the guys. Oh Jesus, yeah, I knew your dad, and then, you know, that kind of ties back to Anakin. Like, could you imagine a conversation in live action between Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka talking about the old days with Anakin Skywalker, like, and stuff? Bro, I'd be in tears. Like, that'd be just incredible for me. Like, I'd love to see that. Absolutely.
I think if they try to do any new IP, that's where they lose people. Is just
I think
they got to stick with that tying stuff together, like you said. Because
I think if they do another movie trilogy, they need to go either back in time or, like, stupid forward in time, one or the other. They cannot be around the Skywalker saga anymore in the movies. I think they need to go back to the Old Republic or something. Like, jump back 1,000 years, and, you know, maybe you focus the story about a young Yoda training or something like that, and getting into the academy and becoming a Jedi Knight. And
the High Republic, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, you know, you do something like that, or, like, I think the Old Republic is where you go. You go on to, like, Dantooine 1,000 years before Episode 1, and where there's, like, armies of Sith and armies of Jedi. And you just have these epic fucking Lord of the Rings battles, but with fucking lightsabers. Bro, like, that
sounds
you don't even need storyline. You just fucking throw that on the screen. Like, that's $1 billion movie right there. You know what I mean? It's insane. Like, I think that's it's an easy win for them. To try and recoup from episode fucking 7, 8, and 9. Anyway, anything's better than that.
If they do that, I think they go farther ahead. Because to me, the reason the Jedi are cool, and, like, what I always loved about them, and is that they're almost extinct. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lone Jedi, and he's out there on his own, and he's like he's just a lone guy.
Yeah.
The further back we go, and the more Jedi we get, the less and less I like the idea of Star Wars and Jedis. And it's fun, and, like, I enjoy being in it, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, the idea of, you know,
two versus two, the balance of the Force, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
You like that? Yeah. I know what you mean.
You know, Obi-Wan walks into a bar by himself.
Yeah.
He's he's the warden out in the middle of nowhere. He's the sheriff out west, and it's just, like, one dude. Like, I love it when the Jedi are almost stink. Like, that to me is, like, a better Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, like, you know, they call them space wizards. Like, Lord of the Rings is great because there's Gandalf. You know, it's like there's, like, 4 wizards, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that, it makes them, like, even more bigger than life.
Yeah. I do love that, but at the same time, I wouldn't say no to seeing a big. You're not gonna say no to
actually be there for the fall of the Jedi, and then to see them go into that extinct phase would be really cool.
Yeah, and again, that's another possibility for a show or a movie. I think, though, if you do another movie trilogy, you have to just scrap everything to do with all Rey and all this shit, like, and
anything
just
with the
go,
Skywalker saga, like you said,
gone. I think Skywalker is done. Like, I think, you know, you need to either go way back or way forward. Some people were saying as well, I was watching a thing on this whole news about the Skywalker Academy, And your man just goes, "Let me throw a spanner in the works for everybody, and let's picture that it's actually Rey's new Jedi Order, because she's a Skywalker." And I'm like, "No, bro,
Please let it be that. Please
Yeah.
let it be that.
to be
He
honest."
just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Drunky's like Heath Ledger's Joker here, just wants to watch the world burn. Like, no,
Real quick.
You go.
If we're done talking about Star Wars, I just have one thing from the episode.
Yes.
I got a question about.
Let's bring it back to Marvel. Sorry, I just stop me because
You're good.
I can talk about Star Wars for a year.
Yeah,
like,
no.
So off track.
Is anyone else weirded out by the fact that like taking the super soldier serum is like a big fucking deal that no one wants to do? Didn't Captain America like kind of sign up for this? And he's like, I'm gonna take this fucking serum. I'm ready to do this for the. And then Sam's like some type of fucking hero because he's like, no, I don't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, bro. Like, when did becoming a super soldier or taking the serum become such a huge deal to not do?
Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, do you remember like back in Captain America 1 when he takes the serum? I don't even think he's told until after it's done about the Red Skull and how it can go wrong. I think maybe didn't they say something about the scientist mentioned something about how, like, it brings out your, it makes you super at whatever you are. You're a good guy, you become super good.
Yeah.
You're bad, you become super bad. And I think that's kind of just said in passing, and I think Steve just goes, fuck it, I know I'm a good guy, I'm going to take it. Now I think what the story is, and especially after the Isaiah thing comes out, I think Sam is going to say, fuck that. Like, they gave it to the black Captain America and he got thrown in prison for 30 years. You know what I mean? I just think that now in like the 2023 or whatever it is, I think it's a lot more controversial, especially for a black man to take it. I think that's the kind of thing why Sam is struggling with it so much, because he hears what happened to Isaiah. It's like, they just pumped him full of this stuff, put him on a few missions, he takes down the Winter Soldier, and then they fuck him in prison. Like, it's like...
Right, gotcha.
I think if I'm Sam, I probably have a couple of questions before I take it as well,
Yeah. I felt it was so kind of not interesting where he's just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, versus, someone who I think is taking over the mantle of Captain America is like, would I want it? Like, no. Like, do I need to take it? Are my friends in trouble?
Yeah.
Does this need to happen? Like, I would do it then.
You
They're
didn't have
not
any
giving
trouble.
him any story or hooks to make him be the one who's like, I'm going to show up and, like, be there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I think the only way that Sam takes it is if they're in some sort of epic battle and Bucky gets disarmed or something like that, and then it's down to Sam only, and there's no other thing. Because as I keep saying to you, I think Sam needs to take the fucking serum to be relevant, especially in this fight, because he's fighting a bunch of super soldiers. I just don't think he has it. Like,
and don't you think Bucky feels like a little underpowered in this? Like, I know they're all super soldiers or whatever. They all got the serum in them, but like, this is the Winter Soldier. Like, this is a dude who's been fighting for like 90 years. You don't think he's got a few moves?
yeah,
up his
mental.
sleeve? I don't
That
know.
exactly happened at the end.
Just,
Yeah, Captain went back
it's
in
a
time,
little,
so in our timeline, he's technically an old
Yeah,
man.
I mean, he's a super soldier, and then he has one thing that sets him apart from all the rest of them, which is the vibranium arm.
Yeah,
And it's just like
Circa goes in the
evenly
chat.
matched.
Circa says in the
He's
chat,
like,
he literally got disarmed this episode.
Talk about getting disarmed.
Yeah, like literally, it literally happened. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, if you think about it, right? And I was thinking this myself while I was watching the episode. Bucky is of the same kind of era as Steve. He got the similar serum, but I think it was messed with by Hydra. So I don't know if that makes him. It obviously gives him the de-aging stuff. But does it make him more powerful than Steve? I don't know. And then he has a vibranium arm, which is the same. Like, he has a Captain America shield as an arm. So to me, that would be more powerful than holding a shield, because you've got a fucking arm that you can throw around and hit people with. To me, that's it.
Take it off now and throw it at people.
You could use it as a bat. Imagine he used it as a bat and he started beating people with it. But
I want to see him get Stark nanotechnology in it so he can start transforming.
oh my god, yeah, that's a nice idea. I like that. I love when he put it back on and it kind of crinkles.
The way it
up,
reconnected.
Yeah, I thought that was really fucking cool. But yeah, like, to me, Bucky should be a lot more powerful than he is, because he's Steve Rogers, who doesn't age, and he has a Captain America shield as an arm that he can beat people to death with. So yeah. I don't know now. is this new version of the serum stronger than all the previous ones? Like, I'd love to see Steve Rogers in that fight. Does Steve get fucked up by the flag smashers? You know, or is he?
Yeah.
You know, we just don't know this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
go Steve. What's up?
I
They
could
did
see
say
that.
it was modified. I just feel like Bucky, when he was a Winter Soldier, like he didn't have there was no stop. Like
Yeah, he's just a
the-
beast,
like,
just an animal,
yeah,
just
a beast.
straight go,
Do what
run
he's
through
told,
people.
just nothing. And now,
Feel
since he
Bucky's
got
holding
back
back.
and we've seen all the things he's been through, and like he's got the mental block in him.
He's questioning every
That,
choice.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
that
kind-
might be
he's
why
kind of
we
afraid.
haven't seen like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
He's not in his
that
flow
might be why
state.
he's holding back.
Yeah.
Hey
Okay.
fellas, I actually have to go, but I appreciate you guys so much for having me here. It was a blast. And
Yes, sir.
Anytime you guys will have me back, I'd be more than happy.
Yes, sir. It was great. Great seeing you, dude.
Hey,
Unsuck
appreciate
yourself.
y'all. Have a great day.
Take care, bro.
Later.
Peace out.
Yeah.
And there's 3.
Then there was 3. The dynamic trio.
I think before we wrap it up, we should talk about the Black Widow trailer that came out. That came out last
Holy
week,
shit,
right?
bro. That
I
trailer.
haven't seen it. Don't.
Ah,
Please
Bronxy.
don't.
Okay.
Oh
see.
my God.
Right. Well, we're gonna stop the chat for a second, and we're gonna watch the trailer.
Oh,
Hang on a second.
bad, not bad.
I'll pull it up because, to be honest,
He
I
was
want
hoping we didn't bring it up all night.
to
He's
watch
like,
it.
oh man,
I
we're
wanna
almost
watch it
at
again.
the end of it. I'm safe. I'm safe.
shit.
I'll throw it on. We'll watch it right now because it's actually
Alright, yeah, yeah.
it's an amazing trailer. So, see you in 1 minute, guys.
You don't know everything about me.
In the world.
I've lived a lot of lives
In a world.
before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes choosing between what the world wants you to be and who you are. We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
I fucking love that. Like their movements are mirrored.
Yeah.
Same training.
Girls are tough as
I love them so much.
I'm sorry. We had our orders
What a scene
and we
within,
played
like,
our
Black
role.
Widow.
Wasn't
Yeah. Such a Russian, like, you know, badass.
It
Yeah.
was real to me.
Still got it. Like, almost like sad.
You were everything.
bring her.
Woo! Taskmaster, baby.
Should they not just give him a skull face?
One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
I mean, like, it's obvious.
Okay,
they're
that
setting
was
Hell.
insane.
Yes.
fucking awesome, right?
It's amazing. So here's
Like, they're setting up Taskmaster to almost make you think it's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because he's got the bow.
Yeah.
He pulls out that short sword he uses in the same manner.
Yeah.
Like, and I know what Taskmaster does, but that's totally going to be the premise of it, right? Where it's like, is that Hawkeye?
no, I don't think it's Hawkeye, but
Oh, I don't think it's Hawkeye. I don't think it is. But I think they're going to be setting that up to be the premise of the movie because of the way he fires his bow, the
Yeah.
way he uses his sword, and then Taskmaster is somebody who copies people's movements, you know. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like, so I don't know.
and
We
he
are sure
and he
you
sa-
said-
and he says I'm going to the cinema for that one. And to be honest, even if like I'm still in lockdown, if the cinemas are open, I'll go to the cinema for that one as well. 100%.
I'll be there. I'll be-
I'll take a chance getting Corona for that one.
Yeah.
100%. That is.
I'll let people breathe into my mouth.
It looks incredible. David Harbour, like in that movie, just like classic kind of Russian guy. You know, we're the strongest family, and he's like doing the flexing and all. I just think like he's going to be a fantastic character. You know, the actress who plays his sister, or sorry, her sister, in the movie, who plays Widow's sister. She's she goes out with Zach Braff in real life. Her name is Florence something or other. She's like 20. She's like 23. She's like 23, 24 years old, and Zach Braff is like 50. What a legend.
That's for it.
Yeah, like what the hell? But I just like, I love how like their training is clearly mirrored. It's as if nearly Widow's walking in front of a mirror. Like, you know, they have the exact same training and, you know, the same movements and stuff. I just thought that's brilliant. And I think that movie could potentially, if they don't bring Scarlett back, which I think they might do somehow through a timeline or something like that. I think she comes back after her own movie to get more. But I think if they don't, they bring her sister in and her sister becomes the new Widow. She's a young actress. She's got 10 years in her. New Avengers. Boom.
I have thought about this a lot. And her being that, right? And don't you think it's a bit disrespectful that, like, finally, after they give Black Widow her movie to Scarlett Johansson, they give it, like, way too probably late after the character's dead.
Yeah.
And then her movie is used to set up the next Black Widow. It's a bit disrespectful. You know? Like, that's a bit...
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I think that Scarlett's going to come back. I don't think she's really gone. Because I think maybe she was going to be gone, but then this movie comes out and, like, you know, the success of the movie maybe brings the character back somehow through the multiverse or something like that, or a time, you know, timeline thing or something like that.
Okay.
But it is strange, like, and even in that trailer, like, you know, they show clips from Endgame, and the movie takes place before that. So I was like, it's a bit strange.
It takes place after Civil War, right?
I think what actually happens is the movie takes place during the 5 years of the blip. So she's alive.
Right.
I think that's what happens, as far as I know, because Natasha has that time where she's grieving, and then she kind of goes home to her family. She's like, you know, I've got to sort some shit out with my family, and then she goes looking for Clint and all that sort of thing as well. So just that 5 years, I think, is the time span. Maybe someone could look that up just to be 100%. I did hear that. Now I don't know if that was a speculation or if that's actual fact.
Because I've heard that from you, and I've heard it from differently from other, like, kind of like newsy Marvel sources, that it takes place after Civil War. So I don't know what's right, because I initially thought this was like took place before she was even like part of the Avengers. So I don't know.
I just googled it there, and the first thing that I see is Black Widow is set to take place between the events of Civil War and Infinity War. So before Infinity War. That's interesting.
Oh.
Let me just see if there's a different, if it's like, you know, the same in another one. Hang on 1 second. I'm a professional.
Yeah, Forbes has that. The Wrap has it.
Does Forbes say the same timeline?
Between the events of Captain America, Civil War, and Avengers. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is pre-snap.
Yeah, so it's just before the snap. Yeah, okay. That's interesting to me. So in the 2 years that her... So, yeah, okay. Well, that actually does make sense to me now, actually, when you think about it, because you've got Sam referencing the 2.5 years that him and Steve were on the run in the show. That's been referenced maybe 2 or 3 times now, and then as well, you have her show, or sorry, her movie, which technically should have been set before. So yeah, that does actually make sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't think it was going to be set there at all. So
yeah, I thought it was after. I thought it was during the blip, which I think is an interesting timeline as well to have something happen. And I think, let's say this movie's a massive success. You have 5 years to play with during the blip that you could just make up fucking stories, and you know, you bring people back. You could do another Captain America movie technically during the blip. You know.
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely.
Yo, Tay, welcome. How are you?
There's a lot.
Hope you're well. Az, how are you? Cookie, welcome back. What's up, everybody? We're just chatting. We're chatting shit.
I'm hyped to see it, though. I am.
I wasn't...
I've been waiting for a new Marvel movie for...
I wasn't...
Endgame. Since Endgame.
Yeah, that's like...
It's been so long.
2 years now. Like, we were supposed to have seen Black Widow a year ago. Like, it's a year late, thanks to COVID, so... yeah, I don't know. I think if we got to see all these shows in the correct timeline and correct order, viewing order, I think it might make it. I think whatever happens in Black Widow might actually make Falcon make more sense. It might tie it up a bit better, because I think there's going to be events that happen in Widow that go straight into Falcon, which I think would be really cool.
That could be cool.
When was it? July 7th?
Yes, July 7th. Yeah, and Loki is
can't wait.
June 11th. But
What are we gonna do in between?
Well, this is what I was saying. We could start doing these kind of fan castings and, break down potential. Like, we could theorize stuff coming in the future. I will definitely have I will definitely have topics for us to talk about, like 100%, like no problem. Like the amount of fucking theory shit that I watch, like when I'm working and stuff like that, I'm always kind of listening to what the fans are on about and what the fans are expecting and so on. So I think, there will always be something for us to talk about, even when there isn't a show on. So I'm more than happy to keep it going, and I'm more than happy to branch it out and talk about Star Wars, or even go into The Boys season 3, or whatever. Like there's always going to be something for us to talk about.
The Boys.
Yeah, The Boys.
I think we could also do like a rewatch of the MCU. You know what I mean? Like one movie a week.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And discuss it
too.
Yeah, absolutely. I only rewatched the entire MCU when I signed up to Disney Plus, but I will do it again.
I did that too.
I will do it again. Do you know the way Disney have it? They have it branched out in the actual timeline order. That was so enjoyable to watch it that way. I don't know if you've ever watched it that way, but
I did it too.
It was fantastic. And then I even got the Spider-Man movies separately, and I put them into the timeline correctly, even though they're not on Disney. So I went all out. And I'm doing the Netflix shows at the moment. I'm on The Punisher now, but I've watched like seasons 1 to 3 of Daredevil, and I watched The Defenders just because you have to watch The Defenders, because it
just because you hate yourself, you have to watch The Defenders.
Haven't watched that.
It ties in. So if you're doing the timeline in that universe or that series, you need to go Daredevil 1 and 2, Jessica Jones 1 and 2, and then it goes Defenders. And then it goes Daredevil season 3, because Daredevil actually dies at the end of Defenders, or is presumed dead at the end of Defenders. And then there's like a really long break where they started doing like Iron Fist and all this shit, and then it comes back to Daredevil 3 like 2 years later, and then he just appears alive. Like so if you were to watch Daredevil 1, 2, and 3, you'd watch the end of season 2, and then season 3 starts, and he's on a deathbed, and you're like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, where, it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'd love to do a marathon. I think it'd be really fucking sweet.
Yeah, and it would take a while. Like, it would be like huge. Like, there's like 23. That would take us through like 23 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. I'd love to even
look at this.
Potentially do. Could you do a watch party over Discord or something? Maybe with a few people. You could actually watch them together. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how people feel about that. Like, I don't know if that might cut into like a night on the stream for me, so I don't know if that would really work. But I would like to see potentially watch it with some people, like do a kind of live thing. Would be kind of sweet in Discord, obviously not on Twitch.
Yeah.
I imagine
marvelous movie night.
Could you imagine if we could watch movies on Twitch? I would fucking love that. I would love it.
Because the closest we got is Amazon Watch Party, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I like
Bronxy's the third person to
like they count it down, and he'll put like
he puts the counter on. Yeah.
So you kind of know where it's at, but
so like he'll be like start in 3, 2, 1, and then everyone presses play, and you're watching him watch it. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, loads of people do that. Speaking of earlier, NFTs, Khabib started selling his own 290k watch. Is that? I don't know. What?
Kyle's drunk right now. He's already drunk. He got off and started smashing beers.
Yeah, C's does that with his chat. Like,
I like to see.
Yeah.
So do you want to start the
number 5 for me, by the way?
Number 5? Let's go, bro. Drunky, have you heard of this new Battle Royale game? What's it called? Totally.
It's not new. It's been around for years, but I haven't even heard of it before last week, I think. Totally Accurate Battleground.
Uh-uh.
Oh,
Dude.
it's hilarious.
I'm gonna throw the trailer on now. Like I think we have to watch it.
It is hilarious, but it's so weird.
Drunky, you're gonna
But I love it.
absolutely die laughing watching this trailer here. Totally accurate battlegrounds.
It's so weird.
I'm gonna throw the trailer on the stream here. Hang on. Check this shit out. This is just wild.
In a world, no.
In a world.
In a world where totally awesome battlegrounds exist.
Oh shit! Didn't full screen. Sorry. Let me start again.
That's ridiculous.
Drunky, you're gonna love this, dude.
A pickle suit?
I hate the pickle suit.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my god.
So what's that cost? Like $60?
It's free, bro. Free to play. It just looks insane.
Annie told me the other day they made this game as a April Fool's joke. They didn't expect it to like blow up this much.
Oh my god, bro. Like, that is just bonkers.
Well, joke's on them, huh?
Yeah. I think me and Bronx are going to play it after the podcast.
It is so funny.
That's funny. I'm into it.
Yeah, I think it looks crazy.
Now, the next Battle Royale I know coming out is called Scavengers or whatever.
Nice.
Scavengers?
Mm-hmm. Looks pretty good. I'm going to try it out. It's like a 3v3.
Drunky is awesome.
multiplayer
Amen,
VR.
Tay. Amen. I hope you're having a good week.
You collect like resources and stuff. Kind of like Hyperscape a little bit, but not. So,
First
free to play, so I'm going to give it a go.
Hell yeah. Free to play is always worth the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my fucking camera's
Oh, yeah.
shit. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about this week.
We're done.
I think we're done. Yeah, so I think during the week, if we can, try and work on that list of castings. I think it'll be kind of funny to kind of just go into that for a little bit. And if you can get, like, especially if you're using an actor or an actress that isn't very well known, I think maybe just have a picture of them that you can kind of I'll just throw it all in my Discord or something like that, and then I can kind of pull it up on the stream for people that might not know who these people are.
Okay.
I think that's a
Yeah, this is gonna take me a long time.
I've been thinking
Like,
about. I've been thinking
I
about it
watched
already.
the original X-Men movies like a long time ago. I just rewatched them like a month ago on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
And I couldn't remember anything
They're
except
great.
the Wolverine movies.
They're
I didn't
great.
even watch Logan until
Oh, bro, Logan's the best
like
one.
a week ago. No, two.
You hadn't seen it at all. It was your first time
No,
watching it.
no. It was my first time watching it.
Annie posted.
And I was
the
shocked.
names. Oh, let's go, Annie. I think Annie's got her names in already. Hell yeah. Let me just see real quick.
Oh. Yeah, that's gonna take me a minute.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited for this.
Oh, sorry. She just put. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Annie. She just put in the heroes that we're casting. So number one, just for anybody who wasn't here, we're gonna do like a kind of fan casting thing where we're gonna basically pick our favorite actors and actresses to play a couple of the X-Men roles for the recasting for the MCU. So the first one is Storm. Second one is Iceman, or like Robbie, whatever his name is. Third one is
Robbie Iceman.
Robbie Iceman, Xavier, Magneto, and Cyclops. Do you want to hear my again? This might not be my final answer, but I've been thinking about Storm first of all.
I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear
I
it?
don't want to hear it.
No.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
No, I'll hear it
it.
next week.
Okay.
Save it.
Oh yeah, Annie.
I want to
was-
hear the shock. I want the shock.
Annie's been confirmed as Rogue already. Yeah. that's fine. That's penciled in. I've already texted Feige. It's the contract's being drawn up. We're all good.
Well, now that Freakline knows Samuel L. Jackson, we just got a direct line in there. We're good.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, we've got the direct line into Shield.
Yeah, we're gonna freebase into Shield.
As a matter, can I be Cyclops? He was my favorite. I think we kind of spoke about Cyclops being done dirty in the movie so far, but I like the guy who played him in the original. What's his name? Can't think of the actor's name. He was in Westworld and stuff. I think he's a good actor. He was in like Sonic as well.
He was good. I just don't think they got to write Cyclops like Captain America. He's a Captain America like character.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch the X-Men movies. I think I'm going to do that when I finish the Netflix TV stuff, just because like I want to go back and watch First Class and stuff, because I really like the whole Evan Peters scenes. Like I love all his speedster scenes and stuff. I thought they were always done really well, and obviously Fassbender as Magneto, and like there's a lot of good stuff in there. Like the last two movies were fucking awful though.
Yeah.
Like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix were just pure failures, and if Ghosty's here right now, he's going to be so angry, but because I know he's like the biggest X-Men fan that I've ever seen, but those movies were fucking atrocious. They were so bad.
I loved everyone up until Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past,
and then obviously Logan, but I was shocked when I watched Logan because I had no idea. Like,
yeah. Oh,
all the shit that happened in between.
Great
those
fucking
movies.
And did you hear that?
It was so dark.
Yeah.
That Patrick Stewart interview with Kevin, where he met with Kevin Feige about reprising his role as Xavier.
Talk to me. Tell me more.
So it was an interview that Patrick Stewart did, and he said they had conversations. They had like a meeting and lunch and all that. And Kevin wanted him back as Xavier for whatever.
Yeah.
But that Patrick Stewart kind of feels like he left Professor X at like the perfect point.
Oh my
God.
god.
Logan was a great stopping point for him.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't want to revisit it because like that was a great end for the character.
I was emotional. Yeah. I was emotional watching that film for how well Patrick Stewart played that part. I felt like I was
so good.
I felt like I was watching my granddad like pass, like that's what it was like. It was just how he didn't win like an Oscar for that. I'll never know. Like that. I don't know. What is acting if it's not that, like, I don't
think he was acting that much though. Have you seen like Picard and him and there was another movie he did where he's like an old actor.
Yeah.
He's that thing where older people get that like waviness in their voice.
Yeah.
Like he's got it now. Like it's just
he just is old now. Yeah. Like he's like 80. He's like 80. So yeah. I just don't know. Like I just think he just played that part in Logan so fucking well.
It was really.
It was incredible. Like I just don't know how he didn't get a shit ton of awards for that.
He was good in the X-Men movies too. Like, but that was on a whole completely different level. Like it was.
Tay in my chat. Why did I talk like that? But I'm only 37. That's hilarious. Yeah. No, that was a great movie. Great movie. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm thinking about my castings, and I have one or two already, and some of them might shock you. I can't wait.
Set a reminder for myself, so
I can't wait to hear yours, Drunky. Are you gonna post them in Discord, or are you gonna keep it secret?
Oh, I'm gonna keep this one close to the vest, but I'll send you something. I'll have a little package ready for you or something like that. But you're not gonna be able to pick apart my stuff beforehand.
Okay.
I know you. You're gonna be trying to take my knees out before we can get here.
Excellent. Okay, guys, I think we'll call it quits there for the podcast.
All right.
Drunky, thank you so much, dude.
Good talking.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bronxy, are you playing that absolutely outrageous game?